Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Fantasy, Return of Apprenticeship, Capture the Demon Race Empress at the beginning. Chapter 61. In the grotto, two terrifying monster beast corpses exuding the aura of nirvana slowly walked out. With the strength of the two corpse puppets, it is not difficult at all to sweep through all the participants in this secret realm. But on the backs of these two corpse puppets, there was a woman sitting on each of them, naturally Lang Yanren and Li Shenruo. Following closely behind them was the man in the coffin, walking through the air behind them, rushing towards the real Red Cloud Immortal Palace. As for the other corpse puppets, they were sent out by the people in the coffins to collect heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Is it more powerful than the defensive formation of my holy mountain? Li Shenruo was sitting on the back of the corpse puppet of the Nirvana realm. At this time, the whole person had not fully recovered from the shock. He kept mumbling the words of the man in the coffin just now. She really couldn't figure out why a portable array disc that Lang Yanren took out was more powerful than the defensive array on her holy mountain. Lang Yanren even has 10 formation discs containing middle-grade formations. If she is given the opportunity to use them, even if they are used to flatten the holy mountain, it will not be difficult to do it, right? Unless Lang Yanren can be subdued before she uses the power of the array, even the holy mountain behind her will not be able to resist it. What shocked Li Shenruo the most was Lang Yanren's words. These terrifying arrays were actually made by his master. Isn't it considered a treasure at all? What realm does that senior exist in? Could it be that he really is an immortal? Otherwise, it would be difficult for her to believe that a portable array disc could achieve this unheard of level. For a moment, Li Shenruo wondered if he had done something wrong by not immediately agreeing to the senior's wish to accept a disciple. Originally, her judgment of Chen Daoxuan was that he was above the infinite realm and should be in the same spirit partitioning realm as several elders in the holy mountain. But now it seems that it was completely wrong. I'm afraid that senior's strength is far beyond the spirit partitioning realm, and is stronger than the elders of the holy mountain. Li Shenruo was immersed in his own thoughts along the way. As for Lang Yanren on the side, she was practicing with her eyes closed. In order to become a being who could help her master as soon as possible, she was not willing to waste any time. With two corpse puppets from the Annihilation realm and the person in the coffin from the Infinite realm escorting them, the two of them naturally had no trouble along the way and went very smoothly. In Qian Immortal Palace, thousands of Northern Territory geniuses gathered on the square in front of the main hall. Even Wang Yan, the genius of the eastern region, was among them. Even he, Wang Yan, was the first person to arrive at the Immortal Palace square here. Strange, the demon race woman and the Saint Li Shenruo entered the secret realm earlier than me, why are they nowhere to be seen? Wang Yan searched the crowd several times, but did not find the two of them, and he couldn't help but feel curious. As for the inheritance assessment of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace, it is also progressing all the time. This first level is to break through the outermost formation barrier. Kai Yunzi took into account that the people taking the assessment were all monks from the Universal Truth realm, so the formation he set up was not particularly powerful, just the best in the Zon level. But for Universal Truth realm, it is enough to dissuade 99% of the geniuses. After all, the best Zon level can only break through it by force unless it can explode with power above the 9th layer level. Another way is to find loopholes in the operation of the inscriptions and enter the barrier through the loopholes. Everyone naturally chose the method of finding loopholes. In order to prevent people from cheating by relying on external forces, Kai Yunzi even set up rules in the formation. If one relied on external forces such as a jade pendant containing divine ability, even if the formation was forcibly broken, it would still not count. Wang Yan could only immerse himself in observing the movement of the formation. But suddenly, there were waves of exclamations from the crowd, and many people started to cry and run for their lives. Wang Yan, who was calm, woke up when he was disturbed, and turned around with a dissatisfied frown. But when he saw it, he was startled and immediately ran away like everyone else. I saw two monsters that did not hide their aura of nirvana, swaggering towards here. What the hell, why are there two monsters in the nirvana realm? Wang Yan's calves trembled. Although he didn't understand why two monsters suddenly appeared, they didn't delay his escape. As for the other geniuses from the Northern Territory, when they saw the monsters in the Nirvana realm, they had already run away like crazy for their lives. Even the timid ones were so frightened that their calves trembled. They were completely out of control and felt weak and unable to escape. No, look, there seems to be two people sitting on the monster's back. Suddenly someone with sharp eyes pointed at the backs of the two monsters and shouted loudly. Everyone was stunned for a moment, and looked in the direction the man was pointing. Sure enough, they could see two figures sitting on the monster's back. The monsters in the Nirvana realm must be native to the Red Cloud's secret realm. Could it be that they are also a test of the immortals' inheritance? However, everyone also discovered a problem. Although the two monsters were terrifying in strength, they did not seem to actively attack them. Just keep walking towards the center of the square. Soon, as the monster approached, everyone finally saw the two figures on its back. Fairy Lang, and that one, is she a saint from the eastern region? Hiss, they are also participating in the secret realm. Why do they bring the mounts from the realm of annihilation to the secret realm? You are stupid. There is no way for the Nirvana realm to enter the secret realm teleportation array. These two must be Nirvana realm creatures that already exist in the secret realm. Hiss, does that mean they conquered the monsters in the realm of annihilation in the secret realm? Wouldn't that be even more terrifying? For a moment, everyone secretly speculated on how the two men subdued the two demonic beasts in the Nirvana realm. In addition, the two monster beasts displayed their auras unscrupulously, so that no one noticed the figure with dark green skin following them. Lang Yanran jumped slightly and jumped off the back of the monster, not paying attention to everyone's surprise. He casually glanced at the assessment rules written in the center of the square, and then walked straight towards the assessment formation. When Li Shenruo saw this, he quickly jumped down and followed closely behind. As for the two monster beasts, they stayed where they were, and everyone did not dare to come forward. Fortunately, they were relieved to see that the monster beasts did not attack them. Two fairies, this is. When Wang Yan saw the two people approaching, he quickly stepped forward, turned his back on the two monsters, and asked cautiously. Lang Yanran frowned. She felt a sense of disgust towards men other than her master, and walked towards the barrier without speaking. Wang Yan could only sneer twice to hide his embarrassment, and cast curious eyes on Li Shenruo. I hope she can explain to him what is going on for the sake of being from the eastern region. Wang Yan was really curious about how the two of them subdued the monsters in the Nirvana realm. If these two people plan to take action against everyone present, the two Nirvana realm monsters are enough to kill all the geniuses present. By then, if there really is an immortal inheritance, it will only fall into the hands of these two. Even Wang Yan was not one of those geniuses in the Northern Territory who had never seen the world before. He looked vaguely at the strange figure behind the two monster beasts that was completely green and had a restrained aura. That guy is probably a strong man in the infinite realm. Although there is no aura emanating from him, the danger he feels from his body is no worse than Mr. Zhang from the third layer of the infinite realm. Wang Yan looked at the man in the coffin and silently compared him to the immeasurable realm driver who followed him. Master Wang, let's think about how to pass the test. It's difficult to explain these issues to you in one go. But for the sake of being from the eastern region, I would like to advise Mr. Wang not to go against Fairy Lang. Li Shenruo saw that Wang Yan kept looking at him and wanted to ask for an answer, so he just sighed slightly and said casually. Even she herself couldn't accept it for a while now. The things Lang Yanran took out casually were enough to wipe out the top forces in the eastern region. Let's not talk about whether Wang Yan would choose to believe it if he told him about it. Even if I say it, what's the point? Now to put it bluntly, this entire secret realm is already under Lang Yanran's control. Whenever she gives an order to the man in the coffin, all the geniuses will die. It's better not to know too much. Under everyone's gaze, Lang Yanran was seen slowly walking to the formation barrier. Without any hesitation, he pointed directly at the barrier. Heavenly Demon Finger. Lang Yanran's own understanding of the battle method was not deep. It was almost impossible to break it by understanding the inscriptions, so she directly chose the method of breaking it with brute force. As a finger was pointed on the formation, ripples appeared on the barrier like water, and then the inscriptions flickered, offsetting the power of the finger. Isn't it okay? Lang Yanran frowned when she saw this, and she pointed with all her strength, which should be equivalent to the 5th-6th layer of Guishu realm. Even so, many geniuses on the side were also slightly amazed. Being able to explode with such power at the Universal Truth Realm 7th layer, if her realm reached the Universal Truth Realm 9th layer, wouldn't it really be possible to break the formation with brute force? Auntie, if you want to break this formation with brute force, you must burst out with the power of the 9th layer heaven. If you give me some time, I can help you find the loopholes and help you pass this level. Seeing this, the person in the coffin on the side stepped forward with a flattering expression, volunteering to help Lang Yanren pass through the formation. Although he was a new consciousness born through Kai Yunzi's body, he did not retain Kai Yunzi's formation method. But the eyes of this body have special effects and can easily see through the inscriptions. It is not difficult to find the loopholes in this mysterious formation. No need. Lang Yanren glanced at the man in the coffin, but rejected his proposal. He patted the storage bag on his waist and took out the 10 formation discs stacked together. Seeing this, the person in the coffin trembled and thought, Aunt Dao, are you planning to directly cover the Red Cloud Immortal Palace with firepower and level it? Auntie, I don't know whether to say something or not. The formation set up by Kai Yunzi is for assessment. If you don't rely on your own strength, even if you break it with the formation disc, it will not result in passing the assessment. It would be more appropriate for me to help you find the loopholes. The person in the coffin quickly opened his mouth to explain the reason, thinking that Lang Yanren was planning to forcefully use the treasure to break the formation. Even the many monks on the side couldn't help but shake their heads when they saw this. This immortal inheritance is really not that easy to obtain. Now everyone is blocked by this first level. Even the 2 geniuses from the eastern region were of no avail. Even Fairy Lang planned to force a breakthrough with the magic weapon given by her master. But Lang Yanren was too lazy to explain to them. He just selected one from the array and took the others back. This array. This is your plan. Hiss. The man in the coffin was suddenly startled. He had already guessed the function of the formation disc through the inscriptions in the formation disc, and he suddenly took a breath of cold air. Lang Yanren still didn't explain. She just held up the formation disc with her left hand, incorporated a spiritual power into it, and activated it. As the array disc was activated, the color of the whole secret realm suddenly changed. The spiritual energy in the entire secret realm condensed uncontrollably in the direction of Lang Yanren, and the overwhelming spiritual energy scrambled to enter the range of the array. What happened? Is the secret realm going to end early? Or is the immortal inheritance about to be born? The monks present were dumbfounded when they saw the strange phenomena in the sky. Look, it's that array. All the spiritual energy is gathering towards Fairy Lang. Someone soon reacted, pointing in the direction of Lang Yanren and widening their eyes. Lang Yanren felt the rich spiritual energy and smiled slightly. The amplification array plate given by Master is really useful. Using the power of the array to amplify herself, and then launching an attack, she will still break the array herself, and will not break the rules. Heavenly Demon Finger. Lang Yanren held the array plate in her left hand, slowly raised her smooth right hand, raised her orchid finger and lightly tapped the barrier. Everyone's eyes were fixed on her movements, and everyone was curious whether Lang Yanren could break the formation with the blessing of this formation. Even if it's just an opening, it's enough for Lang Yanren to pass through instantly. Soon, the orchid finger collided with the barrier. Wave. First, a ripple spread throughout the barrier, and the inscription lit up just like before. Everyone couldn't help but sigh when they saw this. Didn't you expect that such a powerful blow couldn't even open a small opening? Click, click, click. But then, voices sounded one after another, and in the surprised eyes of everyone, dense cracks began to appear on the entire barrier. Broken. Seeing this, Lang Yanren opened her red lips slightly, murmured softly, and the spiritual power of her fingertips increased. With a sound of pop, the entire barrier covering the Red Cloud Immortal Palace turned into fragments all over the sky and slowly dissipated. But that's it. Lang Yanren couldn't help but murmured softly when she saw this. And everyone present went crazy. The entire formation was shattered. This Zon-level formation is better than our Chang sect protecting formation, so it was destroyed like that. Hiss. It's too scary. This blow may have unleashed the power of the Nirvana realm. As the formation barrier was completely shattered, everyone present was excited. Not only was he shocked that Lang Yanren's strength could actually break the formation with one finger. Even more excited. Originally, 99% of them were unable to pass this outermost assessment. Now that the formation has been completely broken by Lang Yanren, doesn't it mean that they also have the opportunity to participate in the second level? In addition, every time you pass the assessment of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace, you will get a reward. Even if they can't get to the end and get the immortal inheritance, it's an unexpected surprise that they can get the reward of the first level. How can a portable array disc achieve such a big improvement? Wang Yan was stunned at the sight. He pointed blankly at the formation disc in Lang Yanren's hand and asked stiffly to Li Shenruo, who was standing aside. As a genius of the eastern region, he had never seen a portable amplifying array disc before, so it was not a rare thing. But what's going on with a portable amplification array that allows a monk from the Universal Truth Realm 7th layer to burst out with the strength of the Nirvana realm? Is this reasonable? Seeing his shocked look, Li Shenruo just raised his forehead slightly, feeling that he had lost face in the eastern region in front of so many northern region monks. But when he thought about his shocked look when he just learned that this formation disc was a heaven level 1, it seemed that it was no better than Wang Yan. Simply pretend not to hear what Wang Yan said. Lang Yanren didn't care about the shock of everyone. Seeing that the formation was broken, she put away the formation disc. For a time, a large amount of spiritual energy was no longer bound by the formation disc and returned to the world. And as the spiritual energy of the secret realm was inhaled and released, no one knew that there was a click on the teleportation array at the entrance of the secret realm, and the crack caused by Chen Daoshuan expanded even more. When Lang Yanren entered the second layer assessment area, a reward was distributed to her hands. Enter the second level, are there any rewards? Lang Yanren was a little surprised. She looked at the reward in her hand and saw that it was a Zon-level magic weapon, which can be regarded as an extremely rare magic weapon in the Northern Territory. But she just put it into the storage bag casually. When everyone present saw Lang Yanren enter the second level and get the reward, they finally couldn't help but start to move, and started to enter the second level area one by one. After everyone landed in the second level area, a reward would fall into their hands, and everyone was grinning from ear to ear. I originally thought that this time I could only draw water from a bamboo basket, but in the end I followed Lang Yanren and got the reward for passing the first level in vain. There are more than 4,000 people, and they will get more than 4,000 pieces of rewards. But I don't know why. At first, these rewards were some Zon-level items, but later they gradually turned into yellow-level high-grade items, and then they were directly downgraded to yellow-level middle-grade items. This caused those who entered later to stare with envy at those who had obtained Zon-level treasures. You don't need to think about it to know that the treasure house of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace is almost empty. At least the reward library of this first level has been completely empty. As for the later levels, they don't know if there are any rewards. Tisk, you people are really good at sitting back and enjoying the fruits of your labor. Lang Yanren noticed that everyone was cheering and holding the rewards in their hands, and frowned slightly for a moment. The most important reason why she came to participate in the secret realm was to collect some heavenly materials and earthly treasures for her master to take back. But now, it was clear that she alone had broken through the first barrier, but all the more than 4,000 people present had been rewarded. How could she accept this? Lang Yanren snapped her fingers at the man in the coffin. Upon seeing this, the person in the coffin quickly bowed and came to Lang Yanren. What are your instructions from my aunt? The man in the coffin asked respectfully. After swallowing the jade pendant containing divine ability, his life was already under Lang Yanren's control. Even if he had the strength of the infinite realm, he would not dare to make a mistake. Go and collect the rewards that everyone present has just received. Lang Yanren looked at the many talented people present who were elated because of receiving awards, frowned and ordered. Clear. The man in the coffin smiled and hovered over the square in the second level, scanning everyone. Everyone, please give me the reward you just received. The sound contains spiritual power and reaches the ears of everyone in the square. Everyone suddenly froze in place because of their happy expressions about receiving the reward. Some people even quickly put their treasures into their storage bags, pretending not to hear anything, and looked around without looking at the figure in the sky. Why? These rewards were given to us by the secret realm, and they were not stolen by us. Why should they be given to you? Yes, these are the rewards given to us by immortal Qian. Why should they be given to you? Who are you? Don't look at me. I didn't get the reward just now. Everything in this storage bag was brought in from outside. Whoever wants to be friends with him can be friends with him. I won't be friends with him anyway. I don't believe he can still kill more than 4,000 of us. Except for those who kept silent and pretended not to hear or see, there were people present who were dissatisfied and accused the man in the coffin. I feel that the law does not punish everyone. There are 4,000 of them, and they are all the geniuses of all the forces in the Northern Territory. If all 4,000 of them were offended, it would be equivalent to offending all the forces in the entire Northern Territory. Hey, Auntie, in my opinion, we should kill them all. The flesh and blood of these people can allow me to increase the strength of first layer heaven again, so I can do things for you, right? Besides, if you kill them, not only will you get the reward just now, but their own treasures will also belong to your aunt. What do you think? When the man in the coffin heard what everyone said, he was not only not angry, but also a little funny. Threaten him. He is a powerful man in the infinite realm. Why should they, ants, threaten him? From the words of the geniuses who have come to the Northern Territory to participate in the secret realm in recent years, the man in the coffin has a clear understanding of the strength of the Northern Territory. The strongest person is only as high as the 5th-6th layer in the Nirvana realm. As long as he leaves the secret realm, he can wipe out the entire Northern Territory by himself. As for threatening the female devil, please stop it. If you want to die in a happy way, why bother provoking that female devil? Although the person in the coffin didn't know what kind of existence was standing behind Lang Yanran. But if he was given 100 courages, even if there was no threat from the jade pendant in his belly now, he would just want to hide far away and would never choose to take action against Lang Yanran. There are 10 heaven-level arrays at hand. Whoever can offend anyone can mess with him. Anyway, his limitless realm is not enough to see. Kill. All. The people who were originally stubborn were dumbfounded when they heard the words of the man in the coffin. From what he meant, it seemed like he didn't take them, the geniuses of the Northern Territory, into consideration at all. Roar, roar. The 2 monster beasts in the Nirvana realm seemed to have sensed the plan of the man in the coffin. They no longer prostrate on the ground, but stood up and roared slightly at the crowd. The heavy roar made the ground shake. Only then did everyone present realize that Lang Yanran had brought 2 demonic beasts from the Nirvana realm. Putting aside the strength of the people in the coffin, the 2 monster beasts alone were enough to kill them all. For a moment, everyone panicked. He couldn't help but look at Lang Yanran, wanting to see what she meant. Fairy Lang, we are all from the Northern Territory, there is no need to be like this. If Fairy Lang insists on doing this, won't she offend the entire Northern Territory? At worst, how about we give Fairy Lang some other treasures of heaven and earth as a thank you gift for entering the 2nd level? Besides, some people only get yellow level magic weapons. Not everyone gets the rewards of Zon level heavenly materials and earthly treasures. What do you think of Fairy Lang? Suddenly, among the many geniuses in the Northern Territory, a young man stood up and put forward his opinion. Everyone looked at the young man and their eyes suddenly lit up. The chief disciple of Hongguang sect, Zhang Guangjing. That makes sense. I'm willing to take out some of my treasures as a thank you gift. Yes, I also agree with Brother Zhang's proposal. For a moment, everyone present seemed to have a backbone, and they all suggested to Lang Yanran that they should hand over some treasures of heaven and earth as a thank you gift according to Zhang Guangjing's words. Lang Yanran was watched by everyone and her brows furrowed slightly. Tisk, 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 do you people want to listen to what you are saying? Offend the entire Northern Territory forces. Auntie, as long as you say a word, when the secret realm is over, I will uproot the entire Northern Territory forces. When the man in the coffin heard what those people said, he suddenly felt ridiculous. Is the Northern Territory very strong? So what if I offend all the forces in the Northern Territory? Which force in the entire Northern Territory can withstand the bombing of the Heavenly Order formation? Threatening Lang Yanran with this is really an eye-opener for him to pull his ass with a knife. What are you talking about? What you said does make sense. Lang Yanran's frown suddenly relaxed. She looked at the scene and said. Hearing this, everyone could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. It seems that Lang Yanran still has some scruples. It must be senior brother Zhang who is so awesome. Haha, Fairy Lang is willing to accept Zhang's proposal. Zhang is grateful. Zhang Guangjing could not help but straighten his back a little as he felt the respectful looks from the people around him. To be honest, when he stood up and said those words just now, he was a little unsure, but he wanted to take this opportunity to show off. Then you can show off in front of all the geniuses in the entire Northern Territory. Now it seems that the bet was right. No, you misunderstood. I'm just saying that what you said makes sense, not that I want to accept your proposal. Lang Yanren's words made everyone present who had planned to hand over some useless treasures of heaven and earth to be stunned. What does this mean? What Zhang Guangjing said made sense, but she didn't accept it. You were right. Some people only get Huang-level treasures. It is really not fair to those who have Zan-level treasures. In that case, everyone should turn in the value of Xuanji middle grade. If the reward just now is not enough for Xuanji middle grade, other heavenly materials and earthly treasures can be used to make up for it. If you don't want to pay, you can do it yourself. If Luo Tian sect is on Wangquan Road, it will be more lively if your sect is with you. After Lang Yanren said that, she stopped talking to everyone and looked at the rules of the second level. The man in the coffin bowed slightly towards Lang Yanren's back, showing a ferocious smile. This is right. Why should we have too much sympathy for these ants? If Lang Yanren, the female devil, was not present, how could he have wanted all the treasures of heaven and earth? He would have even accepted the flesh and blood of these people. Everyone present fell silent after hearing Lang Yanren's words. They all wanted to boycott Lang Yanren just now because of the mass effect. But what Lang Yanren said just now reminded them of a fact. The Luo Tian sect was destroyed in the hands of the cold witch in front of them. Which of them is more powerful than the Luo Tian sect? Lang Yanren has the ability to destroy the Luotian sect, one of the 4 major sects in the Northern Territory, and naturally has the ability to destroy the sect of anyone present. What do they threaten people with? Lang Yanren's words were like a basin of cold water poured on everyone's heads, and everyone woke up. Some people even broke out in a cold sweat after thinking about the cause and effect. What on earth did you just do? Going against Lang Yanren. Outside the secret realm, Lang Yanren's mysterious master killed the clone of the ancestor of the eastern region with one finger. I was really blown away by the treasures of heaven and earth. Zhang Guangjing. Originally Fairy Lang just wanted us to hand over the rewards we received. It's better now, everyone needs to hand over the Xuanji middle grade standards. It's a pity that I only got the yellow grade middle grade award. Suddenly, a man said with red eyes and gritted teeth. After hearing this, everyone present reacted instantly and stared at Zhang Guangjing angrily. All the responsibility is placed on him. If he hadn't just suggested it, the cold witch wouldn't have raised the standard. Now almost everyone was fooled by Zhang Guangjing. Except for a few hundred people who received the Zan grade middle grade reward, no one else got it. Why do you all blame me? Zhang Guangjing was stunned on the spot, wondering why everyone who was looking at him with admiration just now suddenly turned against him. When looking at him, it was like looking at the enemy who killed his father. What the hell is this? In the end, everyone did not take action against Zhang Guangjing because he was the chief disciple of Hongguang sect, the top sect in the Northern Territory. They could only follow Lang Yanren's standards. Each took out a large amount of heavenly materials and earthly treasures, and handed them to the feet of the person in the coffin. There were even many people carrying heavenly materials and earthly treasures that could not reach the value of the Zan grade middle grade. They gritted their teeth and glared at Zhang Guangjing, turned around and left, and began to search for heavenly materials everywhere in the secret realm. The treasure must be handed over before the secret realm is closed. After all, no one dares to bet on the cold witch. If you don't pay enough standards, your family will be wiped out when you get out. Who dares to bet? Tisk, I've really learned a lot. The man in the coffin couldn't help but marvel when he saw the people who were now surrendering their bodies honestly. The man in the coffin felt that he simply could not understand what these people were thinking. At first, the ant just asked them to hand over the rewards they had received for nothing, and there was no loss for them. Besides, it was only because of Lang Yanren that they got the reward for passing the first level, and even qualified to participate in the second level. But they don't want to. It's better now, but I need to paste in a lot of natural treasures one by one. Auntie, There's something I don't understand. Why don't you just let me kill them all and get it over with? I also know the strength of the Northern Territory. There is not even a strong person in the Infinite Realm. Does my aunt still have any worries? The man in the coffin no longer paid attention to those geniuses, but asked Lang Yanran his doubts. You have too many questions. Lang Yanran raised her eyebrows and had no intention of explaining to the person in the coffin. The reason why she didn't kill everyone present was just because of her master's words. She remembered very clearly that master once said that there are merits and karma in this world. If you commit too many crimes for no reason, you will easily be entangled in karma, which will be detrimental to the future. Her goal is not the infinite realm or the spirit partitioning realm, but to become an immortal and stay with her master for a long time. For this purpose, she naturally didn't want to be stained with murder by wiping out all the forces in the Northern Territory just because of a few words from these miscellaneous fishes. It's not fun to be burdened with karma. Of course, if someone wants to stand out, she doesn't mind killing 1 or 2 sects to scare the monkeys. She can laugh it off if someone is disrespectful to her, but if someone dares to be disrespectful to the master, then she doesn't care so much. Regardless of karma or not, they will have to be cut into pieces to relieve their hatred. Not long after, a small mountain of various heavenly materials and earthly treasures had been piled up at the feet of the man in the coffin, which was no less numerous than the heavenly materials and earthly treasures he had stored in the cave before. After all, this empties out the first-level treasure house of Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace. Even Li Shenruo and Wang Yan consciously handed in the rewards without raising any objections. The second level is a talent test. After reading the introduction to the second level, Lang Yanran suddenly understood. On the square of this second level, there is a formation platform, where the formation can detect the talent of the participants. If it meets the standard, it will pass. Lang Yanran was not in a hurry to test it. She wanted to see what kind of qualifications were needed to pass the second level. Fairy Lang, why don't you let Wang help you explore the way first? When Wang Yan saw this, he immediately stepped forward and volunteered. He said it was to help explore the road, but in fact he was still afraid of Li Shenruo's saint-level qualifications. If Li Shenruo came first, he would be completely out of luck. After all, compared to Li Shenruo, although he can be considered a genius in the eastern region, he only has heaven-level qualifications. Lang Yanran did not speak, but nodded slightly and agreed to his proposal. She has no interest in the inheritance of immortals. The only thing she cares about is the rewards of heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Thank you, Fairy Lang, for your help. When Wang Yan saw that she agreed, he was overjoyed. After clasping his fists at Lang Yanran, he walked towards the testing platform. He placed his hand on the ball on the testing formation platform, urging spiritual power to pour into it. The words below the formation platform suddenly began to light up. The 4 words Huang, Zan, Earth, and Heaven lit up one after another, and finally stopped at the heaven-level qualifications and stopped moving forward. Buzz. After a period of fluctuation, the formation platform gave out a low-grade magic weapon. At the same time, 3 big words failed also appeared on the formation stage. Wang Yan was originally very happy when he got the Earth-level magic weapon, but after seeing the 3 words, failed, he was stunned. This young master has heaven-level qualifications and is considered a first-class genius even in the eastern region. You actually didn't pass. Are you kidding? Only those with holy qualifications can obtain the immortal inheritance. Wang Yan suppressed the anger of yelling in his heart, but thinking that he had a low-grade magic weapon as a reward, this trip to the secret realm was not in vain. He could only retreat from the formation platform, silently walked aside and put away the Earth-level magic weapon. Boy, do you understand the rules? All the treasures here belong to my aunt. What do you mean by putting away my aunt's earthly magic treasure? The person in the coffin was originally holding a storage bag to collect the treasures of heaven and earth that had just been handed over. Suddenly he turned his head, stared at Wang Yan with squinted eyes and asked. What the hell? It is true that I relied on Fairy Lang to pass the first level just now. I also handed over the reward for the first level. But did Fairy Lang do anything to get the reward for the second level just now? Why do you ask me to hand it over again? Wang Yan was stunned. Even if this Earth-level magic weapon was in his hands, it was extremely precious. Naturally, he didn't want to give it up to others easily, and Leng Yanren really didn't contribute in this second level. He was able to get the reward only because of his own talent. Little Bai Zai, you are very brave. When the man in the coffin heard that the other party dared to question him, his originally dark green face suddenly turned a bit darker with anger. He casually grabbed Wang Yan's neck from the air and let him struggle in the air. Paw, paw, paw. The other hand slapped Wang Yan's face casually from a distance. Voices sounded one after another, making everyone present tremble in their hearts. Should we hand it over? Should we hand it over? While the man in the coffin was beating, he asked Wang Yan if he wanted to hand over the magic weapon. What a good boy, I didn't expect him to be a tough guy. You were almost beaten to death, but you didn't say a soft word. I admire you very much. In this case, I will give you a decent way to die. The man in the coffin couldn't help but show a hint of admiration in his eyes. He didn't expect that this kid was really a tough guy, and he simply didn't intend to continue humiliating him. He immediately planned to take action and strangle his neck. Although my aunt won't let him kill everyone here, it's not a big problem to catch the ones who stand out and kill the chickens to scare the monkeys. After a while, others will not dare to make trouble again. Senior, wait a minute. Senior, have you ever considered that he is choked by you and cannot speak to beg for mercy? Just when the man in the coffin was about to kill Wang Yan, Li Shenruo, who was also the genius of the eastern region, finally couldn't stand it anymore. He quickly spoke to stop the man in the coffin. He glanced slightly at Wang Yan, who was pinched in the air and struggling more and more weakly. His face was bruised and his eyes were red. How can this person not beg for mercy? He was clearly pinched and unable to speak at all. Oh, ahem, that's it. I was negligent. When the man in the coffin heard Li Shenruo's words, he couldn't help but be stunned and coughed twice to relieve his embarrassment. If someone else talks to him, he may not pay attention to it, but Li Shenruo is different. She is with the aunt, and the person in the coffin has no idea about the relationship between the two. But he didn't dare to offend anyone who had anything to do with Leng Yanren. As a result, the man in the coffin released Wang Yan, who was about to suffocate. Cough, cough, cough. Dying. Wang Yan squatted on the ground, covering his throat and coughing violently, and then gasped for air. Just now, he was held in the air by the person in the coffin and slapped violently. At this time, his head was swollen like a pig's head, and he completely lost his original appearance of a handsome young man. After a violent cough, Wang Yan couldn't help but cast a grateful look at Li Shenruo. He had no doubt that if Li Shenruo hadn't interceded for him just now, the mysterious man would never have shown mercy and would have taken his life. Boy, have you thought about it? Should I hand over my aunt's magic weapon, or should I kill you and take the magic weapon back? In fact, compared to handing it over, I hope you can choose the latter. The man in the coffin laughed ferociously, his expression unnaturally distorted, and he looked particularly scary. In the past, every time the secret realm was opened, he would kill people without hesitation, and he had almost developed a habit. But this time the secret realm was opened, he could only watch thousands of geniuses in front of him, unable to kill them and absorb their flesh and blood, which also made the person in the coffin feel very uncomfortable. I'll hand it in, I'll hand it in. When Wang Yan heard this, he couldn't care less about anything else. He stood up staggeringly, came not far from the person in the coffin, and placed the earth-level magic weapon he had just obtained on the ground. Then he stepped aside, trying not to let anyone notice him. After all, he is now wearing a huge pig's head and is extremely embarrassed. I'll help you all next. The man in the coffin sighed regretfully when he saw this. It was a pity that he didn't find a chance to kill. Then he looked at the many geniuses present. Thousands of geniuses trembled when they heard this. I also understood what he meant, so I simply lined up in front of the array testing platform. One by one, they put their hands on the testing table for testing in an orderly manner, and then respectfully handed the rewards to the feet of the person in the coffin. The rewards in this second round are much richer than those in the first round. However, except for Wang Yan, who has heaven-level qualifications, there are very few people in the Northern Territory who have Earth-level qualifications. Most of them only received Huang-level heavenly materials and earthly treasure rewards. Only the Northern Territory geniuses with Earth-level talents could receive Zon-level magic weapon rewards. Time passed slowly, and within a moment, another small mountain peak was piled up in front of the person in the coffin. "Auntie, the rewards have been collected for you." After the person in the coffin put it all into the storage bag, he respectfully came to Lang Yanran. Lang Yanran casually took the 2 storage bags and was quite satisfied. Since entering the secret realm, her harvest has been enough to fill 4 storage bags. In terms of value, even the 4 major sect treasure houses in the Northern Territory cannot compare with her harvest this time. Even at this time, there were many corpses of monsters and beasts, still collecting heavenly materials and earthly treasures for her in the secret realm. "You should try it too. As for the reward, it's yours." Lang Yanran then remembered that besides her, there was also Li Shenruo who had not gone to the test just now. Then he turned his head and said to Li Shenruo. After hearing this, Li Shenruo bowed his hand slightly to thank him, and then walked to the natural talent test formation stage. Everyone's eyes turned over for a moment, making Li Shenruo feel a little nervous. Then he put his hand on the formation platform, and the words below began to light up one after another. Huang, Zan, Earth, and Heaven. In the surprised eyes of everyone except Wang Yan, the light has not stopped, but continues to rush towards the holy steps. Hiss, a genius of the holy level. Aren't you going to pass the assessment directly this time and get the immortal inheritance? As the words holy order lit up, the entire formation platform shone with a burst of golden light. Seeing this, Li Shenruo was a little nervous. What puzzled everyone the most was that the formation platform had not yet lowered the rewards that it should receive. After everyone has tested their talents, the formation platform will immediately drop rewards. But Li Shenruo has now reached the saint level talent, but there is no reward, which is really puzzling. Buzz, in the doubtful eyes of everyone, the formation platform shook for a while. The golden light emitted suddenly restrained, crack. The formation platform slowly began to rotate. In the end, the formation platform slowly cracked open, revealing a magic weapon that looked like a scripture. Oh my god, heaven-level magic weapon. The corresponding holy level qualifications are actually the rewards of heaven-level magic weapons. There has never even been a heaven-level magic weapon in our Northern Territory. For a moment, everyone present widened their eyes and opened their mouths. Heaven-level magic weapons are rare among the major forces in the eastern region. I didn't expect Li Shenruo to be able to harvest a heaven-level magic weapon this time. Even Wang Yan couldn't help but be jealous after seeing the heavenly magic weapon. Even Li Shenruo himself was a little surprised. As a descendant of the Holy Mountain, she usually has no need for heaven-level magic weapons to protect herself. At most, she can only use earth-level magic weapons. I didn't expect to get a heaven-level magic weapon in this secret realm. Is this the breath of a heavenly magic weapon? So weak. Suddenly, a voice sounded in Li Shenruo's ears. Turning around, she realized that Lang Yanran had been standing behind her at some point, looking at the exposed heaven-level magic weapon and muttering to herself. Hearing this, the corner of Li Shenruo's mouth twitched. How weak is the heavenly magic weapon? This was the first time she heard such remarks. However, Lang Yanran was comparing a heaven-level magic weapon with the black and yellow ruler that her master took out that day. There was a world of difference between the two. This also made Lang Yanran certain of one thing. Master's black and yellow ruler must be something above the immortal level. And just when everyone was immersed in the surprise of the heaven-level magic weapon, an illusory figure appeared from the Scarlet Cloud Immortal Palace. After more than 5,000 years, can anyone finally accept my inheritance? There are actually 2 geniuses with holy level qualifications. The remnant soul of Kai Yunzi flew from the Kai Yun Immortal Palace to the square, and everyone's eyes were immediately attracted to it. Is this the Immortal Qian? Speaking of which, do you think this red cloud immortal looks familiar? Don't tell me, I always feel like I have seen this red cloud immortal somewhere. Could it be that I also have an immortal fate with this red cloud immortal? Hiss, no. After Kai Yunzi's remnant soul appeared, everyone present was shocked at first. After all, Kai Yunzi had appeared, which meant that someone was about to receive the immortal inheritance. But then I felt strangely familiar. Finally, someone was the first to react, their eyes constantly switching back and forth between Kai Yunzi's remnant soul and the dark green man in the coffin. How so similar? After a moment, everyone reacted. No wonder it looks familiar, because Kai Yunzi looks exactly like the man in the coffin who blackmailed them. The only difference is that Kai Yunzi's remnant soul looks like an immortal, with a Taoist robe swaying in the wind and a kind smile on his face. But the man in the coffin, who had dark green skin all over his body, always had a sneer on his face and his muscles twitched from time to time. He looked extremely scary. But the appearance of the two people, not to say they are very similar, is at least 98% similar. Before everyone could ask Kai Yunzi's remnant soul, they saw Kai Yunzi's remnant soul suddenly staggering as it flew toward him. What? Why did my body come out? It has been refined into an infinite corpse puppet. It's over now, it's completely over. Kai Yunzi's remnant soul widened his eyes, staring desperately at the body that originally belonged to him. It can be seen that he has reached the immeasurable level of cultivation, and he already knows that these geniuses today will definitely perish here. After finally waiting for more than 5,000 years, I waited for the successor whose talent reached the holy level and could break the first level of formation, but everything was about to come to nothing. This remnant soul of his can only teach skills, but it cannot compete with the corpse puppets of the infinite realm. Tisk, why are you so panicked when you see your own body? It really makes me feel embarrassed. When the corpse puppet saw this, he couldn't help but laugh ferociously and said a little sarcastically. Shut up. Lang Yanran frowned and scolded the person in the coffin in a low voice. Okay, Grandma, I'll seal my mouth right now and stop talking. Under Kai Yunzi's horrified gaze, the man in the coffin honestly closed his mouth and stood aside and never spoke again. Kai Yunzi was shocked and confused by this scene. What's going on? Kai Yunzi pointed at the corpse puppet with trembling fingers and asked Lang Yanran. Your Excellency does not need to know this. Now that the successor has appeared, please do as you please. Lang Yanran said casually to Kai Yunzi's remnant soul, then she stopped talking and turned to look at Li Shenruo beside her, noticing the excitement on his face. I can't help but feel secretly dissatisfied in my heart. It's just a mere inheritance from an immortal. Why is it like this? But it would be a good thing if she chose the immortal inheritance today, as the master would not take her into his sect. At that time, master will still be alone. Ahem, what is that? In my opinion, the first level was broken by you. As for this second level, testing talent, with your holy qualifications, it is also fully qualified. I have decided to hand over the inheritance to you. I hope you will not let down my lineage in the future. After Kai Yunzi looked back and forth between Lang Yanran and Li Shenruo for a moment, he was also thinking secretly in his heart. If we look at qualifications, Lang Yanran is still better than Li Shenruo. In terms of strength, Lang Yanran is much stronger than Li Shenruo and can break through the first level formation with brute force. Even Lang Yanran didn't know what method she used to conquer the corpse puppets of the infinite realm. No matter from which aspect, Kai Yunzi felt that Lang Yanran was going to defeat Li Shenruo. So he did not choose to hand over the inheritance to Li Shenruo, who caused his appearance, but wanted to hand it over to Lang Yanran. But senior, it was obviously me, the junior, who caused the senior to show up. When Li Shenruo heard what Kai Yunzi said, the excited expression on his face froze. She came to participate in the secret realm this time for the inheritance of immortals and the immortal level skills. Now that it was about to succeed, why did the immortal suddenly change his mind? Well, I didn't expect that two people who would satisfy the inheritance would appear at the same time. But in comparison, the person next to you is more suitable to receive my inheritance. So, sorry, but don't be too upset, I will give you some treasures of heaven and earth as compensation. Kai Yunzi was also a little embarrassed when he heard this, especially when many geniuses were looking at him, but he suddenly wanted to hand over the inheritance to another person. But now he only has this remnant soul left, and all he wants is to find the best disciple. Why does he care about face? For a moment, everyone was waiting for Lang Yanran's answer. Even seeing that Lang Yanran had never agreed, some people were so anxious that they wished they could agree on her behalf. That is the inheritance of the immortal. Although Kai Yunzi did not succeed in proving the immortal's ascension to the immortal world in the end, this technique is a real immortal grade, enough to practice all the way to transcending tribulation. Sorry, I'm not interested in your inheritance. Lang Yanran saw the remnant soul of Kai Yunzi staring at her and casually rejected his proposal. Okay, then I will teach you my own skills. I hope you will not disappoint me in the future, ha. What did you just say? When Kai Yunzi saw Lang Yanran speaking, he smiled and nodded to himself, planning to teach her his immortal grade skills. But he suddenly reacted and froze in place again. Did he hear it correctly? This woman seems not interested in his immortal grade technique. Not only was Kai Yunzi dumbfounded, but everyone present was also stunned. This guy could even reject the immortal grade technique. Li Shenruo looked at Lang Yanran with dull eyes. She really couldn't figure out how the other party could make such a choice. Could it be that her master also practiced the immortal grade technique? Girl, you may not know that although I finally only reached the perfection of the spirit partitioning realm and then regretted it, what I practiced was the immortal grade technique. If someone hadn't plotted against me, I would have been able to ascend to the transcending tribulation and become an immortal. As long as you accept my inheritance of skills, you will definitely be able to go further than me in the future, and it is not impossible to attain enlightenment and become an immortal. Kai Yunzi thought that the other party did not understand the preciousness of the immortal grade technique, so he quickly explained it to him. I told you, I'm not interested. You'd better ask her if she wants to learn. Lang Yanran was a little annoyed by Kai Yunzi's words. She showed an impatient look and waved her finger at Li Shenruo, who was standing beside him, dumbfounded. Well, in this case, I won't force the girl. Kai Yunzi felt dizzy for a while, then looked at the corpse puppet that was surrendered by Lang Yanran, and did not dare to get too entangled with him. After readjusting his mentality, he looked at Li Shenruo and asked, "Are you willing to accept my inheritance?" When Li Shenruo heard Kai Yunzi's question, he did not agree for a while, but instead became entangled in his heart. Judging from Lang Yanran's performance, there is no doubt that the master behind her must be an extremely strong person. But instead of betting on uncertainty, there is a real immortal level skill in front of her, and she can get it as long as she nods. Isn't what she pursues in this life just the immortal level cultivation technique? As long as she has the immortal level skills, the entire holy mountain will surely tilt all resources towards her, and she will become the most promising person in the entire eastern region to prove the existence of an immortal. Kai Yunzi on the side couldn't help but be a little confused when he saw that Li Shenruo didn't agree for a long time, but instead frowned and looked confused. Isn't it true that no one appreciates the immortal level kung fu nowadays? Why did one of the two saint-level geniuses I met today reject him without even thinking about it, while the other still looks confused now? What's going on with this world? As long as you accept my inheritance, you will not only get my immortal level skills, but I will also teach you my skills in formations. In the future, at least you can become a 6th level formation master like me. Kai Yunzi was afraid that Li Shenruo would not agree, so he simply increased the stakes. A level 6 formation mage is much rarer than the spirit partitioning realm. As a 6th level formation master, he already has the ability to deploy the best earth level formations. If he can go one step further and become a 7th level formation master, he can start to create heaven level formations. Even many holy places will respect the 7th level formation master very much, and they can even call him a distinguished guest no matter where he goes. I didn't expect that Kai Yunzi is still a master of formations. No wonder the first level is based on formations. Not to mention immortal level skills, even if you can become a 6th level formation master, you are enough to be respected by everyone in the eastern region. Now in the entire eastern region, I'm afraid the 6th level formation master is the highest. Why are you still hesitating? Could it be that Li Shenruo is stupid? If it doesn't work out, let me accept the inheritance. I'm willing. All the monks were shocked by Kai Yunzi's words and took a breath of cold air. They only knew that Kai Yunzi might be proficient in formations, but they did not expect that he was a 6th level formation master. Hateful. There was a pig-headed man in the corner, clenching his fists tightly and looking at Li Shenruo with envy. If before, he could still dream that one day his cultivation would surpass that of Li Shenruo, and he could propose marriage to the Holy Land and become a Taoist couple with Li Shenruo. Now all hopes are shattered. If Li Shenruo obtains the immortal level kung fu, he will definitely become a dragon. She can even get the inheritance from the 6th level formation master, which makes her status countless times higher. In the future, it is even very possible to go to the central region and join those real holy places for cultivating immortals. Tisk, how about the immortal level skills? Are you still struggling for so long? I'm not going to hide it, and I'm not afraid to tell you that none of the techniques my master taught me are immortal level techniques. If what you want is the immortal level, then my master really cannot give it to you. Lang Yanran saw that Li Shenruo had been unable to make up her mind, so she naturally knew what she was thinking. He simply spoke casually, but she didn't feel that she had lied. After all, the master gave her not the immortal level skills, but the Hongmeng level skills. I'm afraid she wouldn't be able to find a second one in this world. If Li Shenruo still chooses to join his master even after learning that he has no immortal level skills, Lang Yanran is willing to abandon her previous opinion of Li Shenruo and treat her as a fellow junior in the future. But if the other party really only sees immortal level skills, she will shake off this drag bottle for her master today. Sure enough, after hearing what Lang Yanran said, Li Shenruo's tangled brows disappeared. What she wants is the immortal level Kung Fu. Without the immortal level Kung Fu, no matter how hard she tries, she will never be able to become an immortal through transcending tribulation. What's the point? Li Shenruo, I have met master. The confusion in Li Shenruo's eyes disappeared, and he bowed his head to Kai Yunzi and performed the ceremony of apprenticeship. Everyone present could not help but be jealous when they saw this. Only Lang Yanran showed a sneer, thinking secretly in her heart that she had obtained the immortal level skills, but missed the real opportunity to defy the heavens. I really don't know how regretful Li Shenruo will be if she learns about the master's power in the future, but these are not important anymore, she has lost the opportunity. Lang Yanran was already a little dissatisfied with her when she first rejected her master's proposal to accept a disciple, and Li Shenruo failed to withstand her test. Ha ha ha, good, good. My teacher is Kai Yunzi, and today I will teach you the immortal grade middle grade technique, the heavenly spirit immortal art. In addition, my master will use the remaining spiritual power of this remnant soul to teach you the lifelong understanding of the formation method. In less than 100 years, you will be able to digest and master it and become the same 6th level as my master. Master of formation. If you rely on this starting point, you are likely to go further than being a teacher in the future. Seeing that Li Shenruo finally nodded and agreed to become a disciple, Kai Yunzi immediately said hello 3 times, his brows relaxed, and he was extremely happy. If Li Shenruo refuses his intention to accept a disciple again, then he will really be completely blind. After saying that, he pointed at the center of Li Shenruo's eyebrows and began to teach him the skills. Immortal level skills cannot be recorded in ordinary jade slips, and are extremely difficult to record and spread. This is also the reason for the fault line of immortal level in this world today. Everyone, I will teach my disciples the skills for 5 days. During these 5 days, you can collect the heavenly materials and earthly treasures you need in the secret realm. 5 days later, the secret realm will also be closed, and everyone will be transferred back to the entrance. The things I obtained in the secret realm can be regarded as gifts to you. I hope that if my disciples are in need in the future, you can help me. Seeing that everyone was watching him teach, Kai Yunzi simply reminded him. By the way, he also sold a favor to everyone for Li Shenruo. After all, his remnant soul will dissipate after preaching. It's also good to leave some favors for your disciples. After hearing Kai Yunzi's words, everyone reacted and left one after another, planning to collect some heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm. After they entered the secret realm, they immediately came to Qian Immortal Palace, but all the rewards they received here went into Lang Yanran's storage bag. It can be said that no one got the slightest chance, and most of them even spent a lot of money on the first reward to give it to Lang Yanran. Hee 90% of the heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm have probably been collected into the grotto by my zombies. Auntie, let's go back to the grotto and have a look, too. When the person in the coffin saw this, he couldn't help but sneered. Seeing Li Shenruo being preached by Kai Yunzi, Lang Yanran naturally had no interest. With a slight jump, he landed on the back of the corpse puppet of the Nirvana realm, and returned to the grotto with the 2 corpse puppets and the person in the coffin. There are nearly 100 powerful corpse puppets working hard to collect heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm, so she naturally does not need to do it herself. Just sit back and wait for the harvest in the grotto. After a while, Lang Yanran returned to the grotto. At this time, outside the grotto, the wolf demon corpse puppet from the Return to Ruins realm and many Universal Truth realm wolf demons were still guarding it. As for the other corpse puppets, they are all collecting heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the secret realm. Seeing this, Lang Yanran simply returned to the grotto and began to practice cross-legged. Seeing this, the person in the coffin could only wait aside, quietly waiting for the corpse puppets to return. She was at ease, but the thousands of geniuses in the entire secret realm were going crazy. According to the map given by the sect, there should be a Tianyan herb here. Why does it seem like it has been turned over hundreds of times now, and not even a hair is left? A genius held a map in his hand. After checking the surroundings several times, he crumpled the map into a ball and threw it to the ground. At this time, the soil under his feet had been turned over hundreds of times. Not to mention the herbs, not even a single weed was left. The treacherous businessman sold me 10 middle-grade spiritual stones and said he had the whereabouts of a top-grade Zon-level magic weapon. Let alone the Zon-level magic weapon here, there isn't even a piece of broken iron. At the same time, another prodigy holding a map looked at the battlefield he came to. Only some dead bones were left. Compared with the armor and weapons that should be found on other battlefields, they were completely different. Even if someone comes to a place like this on weekdays, they will only collect magic weapons. Who would pick up some junk? Ah, stop fighting, stop fighting. I give you all the treasures of heaven, materials and earth. I don't want them anymore. Stop fighting, I'm going to die. Naturally, the two people above were not the worst offenders. The worst offenders were those who encountered corpse puppets from the Return to Ruins realm and were caught and beaten up. At first, the person in the coffin was afraid that there was someone related to Lang Yanran among the humans, so he ordered the corpse puppet not to kill humans, but he didn't say not to do it. In the entire secret realm, as long as the geniuses who meet the corpse puppets are beaten, their parents will be disowned. However, the geniuses of the highest Universal Truth realm are completely unable to resist the corpse puppets of the Guishu realm. Fortunately, they gradually discovered that these corpse puppets seemed to be only interested in heavenly materials and earthly treasures, and did not kill them, so they took out all their heavenly materials and earthly treasures to save their lives. For a time, everyone in the entire secret realm no longer cared about looking for heavenly materials and earthly treasures. They all looked for places to hide, just hoping to spend these 5 days safely and leave this deadly place as soon as possible. Eastern region. Ren family, in the meeting hall. The clan leader and the 4 elders gathered here, looking slightly nervous and confused. The ancestors called us here and brought the 5-star formation flag. Could it be that they are planning to take action against other families? Is it possible that our ancestors' strength has improved again? Great, our Ren family's current cultivation resources are indeed somewhat insufficient. If we can destroy other families and collect their resources, we can greatly alleviate the current pressure. Several elders were speculating on the purpose of their ancestors calling them here. Quiet, the head of the Ren family suddenly shouted coldly, and everyone booed. A figure appeared out of thin air in the center of the hall, with a dark face as if he was very angry. If Lang Yanran or Chen Daoshuan were here, they would be able to recognize that this person is the ancestor of the Ren family recruited by Ren Kirui. Meet the ancestors. Everyone quickly saluted the ancestor of the Ren family. Have you brought the 5 elements formation flag? Ancestor Ren ignored everyone, just waved his hand slightly to signal them to get up, and then asked. By the way, I wonder which company my ancestor plans to attack during this trip. Wang family, or Zhao family? It should be the Zhao family. After all, the little genius of the Wang family has joined Xiaoyao Palace. If Xiaoyao Palace comes to support me, my Ren family will not be able to defeat him. After an elder answered, he asked everyone's most curious question. For a moment, everyone pricked up their ears. Who told you that we were going to attack other families? Renur was killed. I'm going here to avenge Renur. Could it be that Kier is dead? Isn't it possible that none of you know such a big news? Ancestor Ren's face turned darker after hearing what everyone said. He couldn't help but sternly questioned everyone. In the Ren family, all core disciples have their fate cards stored in special rooms and guarded by someone. His previous clone was shattered by Chen Daoshuan's finger and suffered backlash. He has been recovering from his injuries in the past few days. But judging from the looks of everyone, it seems that they don't know about such a big event as Kirui's death. How did these clan leaders and elders become? Wah! What? Ancestor, what did you say? Did I hear it correctly? My son is going to that barren place in the Northern Territory this time. There is not even a master of the infinite realm, and he also brought a clone of your ancestor with him. How could he die? Besides, there is no news from the Mingpai Palace. When the head of the Ren family heard what his ancestor said, he was stunned and almost fell off his seat. Ren Kirui was his son. He couldn't believe it when he heard the news. The entire Ren family regards Ren Kirui as the next head of the family to train their successors, and all resources are thrown at him without limit. Even the ancestors of the spirit partitioning realm placed a clone on Ren Kirui. How could he die in that barren land in the Northern Territory? My clone couldn't protect Kir. The opponent at least has the strength of spirit partitioning realm. The ancestor of the Ren family said coldly with a dark face. Who did it? Could it be that the Wang family or the Zhao family are planning to take action against us? If you have the guts to attack our Ren family, you would actually choose to attack Kir first. No matter what happens today, whether it is the Wang family or the Zhao family, even if Xiaoyao Palace intervenes, he will definitely be wiped out. Family leader Ren's whole body was filled with anger and blood, and he couldn't stop trembling. By the way, who is looking after the Palace of Life cards these days? Suddenly he thought that they didn't know about such a big thing and no one informed him, so he asked coldly. Reporting to the clan leader, the one who is currently in charge of the Mingpai Palace is my unlucky third grandson Ren Jiaxing. Upon seeing this, an elder stepped forward tremblingly and said. His third grandson liked to drink and play cards on weekdays. For this reason, he specially arranged for him to guard the Mingpai Hall, hoping that he would just hang out. I didn't expect that such a big thing would be delayed. Send the order to execute Ren Jiaxing. Second elder, do you have any objection to this decision? Family leader Ren said bitterly and glanced at the second elder coldly. Why, the Ren family star mistook my Ren family. I have no words to answer for this crime. It all depends on the clan leader's decision. The second elder sighed and naturally did not dare to raise any objections. Ren Kirui's life is much more valuable than 100 Ren family stars, or even the second elder of the infinite realm like him. Since Ren Kirui was born, all the resources of the entire Ren family have been focused on him, and countless resources and treasures have been spent on him. Ren Kirui has lived up to expectations and has always been regarded as one of the top talents in the eastern region. By the way, ancestors, who did it? I'm going to avenge Kir right now and cut the murderer into pieces. Bring Kir's body back and lay it to rest. The head of the Ren family, his temples were pounding, and he was holding back the fire and asked his ancestor. Upon seeing this, everyone present said that they must make the other party pay a heavy price. Let them know the consequences of messing with the Ren family. After all, the ancestors summoned them here and even brought the 5 elements formation flag. Obviously they were going to make a big move. The 5 elements formation flags are in the hands of their 5 infinite realms, each in charge of one side. Once a large formation is set up, it can be infinitely close to the heavenly level formation. You can even concentrate your strength on one person, causing his strength to skyrocket. No, the person who did it is from the Northern Territory. It's not the Wang family and the Zhao family. The ancestor of the Ren family rubbed his brow, resisted the urge to slap these juniors to death, and said patiently. What, is there anyone in the Northern Territory who can defeat the ancestor's clone? Could it be that he is a hidden powerhouse from the Northern Territory? Then, can ancestors clearly see the other party's realm? The great elder couldn't help but be shocked when he heard what the ancestor said, and everyone couldn't help but frown. I never thought that such a powerful master could exist in that poor place in the Northern Territory. See clearly, Chi-Hai Realm First Layer Heaven. Don't ask, what I saw was the first layer of Chi-Si Realm. Maybe the other party has some secret method to hide his cultivation. Anyway, my clone was shattered with a finger from that guy from the first layer of the Chi-Si Realm. The ancestor of the Ren family sighed and truthfully told what he saw. Chi-Hai Realm, First Layer Heaven. So that's the case, it must be a hidden cultivation level. Everyone was stunned at first, and then concluded that Chen Daoxuan must have hidden his cultivation. He must at least be a strong man in the spirit partitioning realm. Otherwise, how could he kill the 9th layer clone of his ancestor with one finger? Let's go to the Northern Territory with me. That guy's disciple is still in the secret realm. I want to kill his disciple first, and then lead him out into the formation to kill him. The ancestor of the Wren family said no more, and with a wave of his hand, he took the 5 boundless realm experts of the Wren family, and their family's most precious 5-element formation flag, and headed towards the Northern Territory in a mighty manner. Many forces in the Eastern Territory couldn't help but become nervous when they saw such a large battle suddenly appeared in the Wren family, but they were a little confused when they saw the direction they were leaving. What is the Wren family doing? The direction seems to be the Northern Territory. Could it be that the Wren family plans to sweep across the Northern Territory? Fart, didn't you see that even the ancestors of the Wren family were dispatched? If the Wren family wants to flatten the northern region, they only need to send an elder from the infinite realm. That's all, as long as it doesn't harm us. Many forces in the Eastern Territory breathed a sigh of relief when they saw that the Wren family's target was not them. However, 3 forces are worried. Chief Wang Yan is participating in the secret realm in the Northern Territory, right? Tisk, does the Wren family want to take action against the chief of my Xiaoyao Palace? Come here, go to the Northern Territory with me, the Lord of the Palace, and see what the Wren family is up to. In addition, notify the Wang family and send people to the Northern Territory. If the Wren family doesn't understand, they will be killed. The palace master of Xiaoyao Palace listened to the news reported by the elders, frowned and handed down the instructions one after another, and then also led several infinite realm powerhouses to the Northern Territory. As for the Wang family of the Eastern Territory, after receiving the news from Xiaoyao Palace, they naturally sent people to the Northern Territory without stopping. Wang Yan is not only the chief of Xiaoyao Palace, but also the genius of their Wang family, so there must be no loss. Eastern Region, Holy Mountain. Everyone, if the god is very likely to obtain the immortal inheritance this time, are those forces planning to snatch it away? Let's go there in person, don't let anything happen to Shenruo. The great elder looked at the other 2 elders and said casually. There is no sect leader in their holy mountain. The 7 elders have always been in charge and jointly cultivate disciples, and they are all powerful in the spirit partitioning stage. Now that the 4 of them are in retreat, only 3 of them are free, but this is enough. That's fine. The other 2 elders did not refuse. As Li Shenruo was the most promising disciple of the Holy Mountain, there was no room for any surprises and he was about to leave for the Northern Territory immediately. Elders, do you want to go down the mountain to play? Can you take Rong with you? Just when the 3 were about to leave, a turbulent figure suddenly appeared and jumped in front of the 3 elders. His face was full of innocence, and his eyes were exceptionally bright, revealing a clear stupidity. We are not going down the mountain to play, but... That's it, it's too late to explain. Let's go. I'll take you down the mountain with me. When the first elder saw Li Yorong coming, he wanted to explain, but when he thought about Li Yorong's small IQ, if he continued to explain, he might not be able to explain even in the dark. They simply agreed, and the 3 of them took Li Yorong to the North Territory. Zuwu Mountain, Temple of Heavenly Tao. Ah Chu, got a cold, it's impossible, could it be that Yanren misses me as her master? That's how it should be, haha. Chen Daoshuan, who was sleeping on the recliner and was practicing hard, suddenly sneezed and woke up while rubbing his eyes. When he thought that the secret realm that his disciples were participating in should be coming to an end soon, he simply lost his sleepiness. He picked up a handful of tea leaves from the Wudao tea tree beside him, then got up and went to the pavilion to make tea. While tasting the tea in the cup, Chen Daoshuan frowned slightly. When I helped Yanren deal with the enemies before, I thought I would make a lot of money, but I didn't expect that there would be no reward for killing the clone. Now there are only more than 3,000 system points left. When can we save 10,000 system points and break through to the sky control realm? Hey, system points, some good person can give me some system points, I will thank him very much. Chen Daoshuan felt a little heartbroken when he thought that he had spent 1,000 system points before, but only earned 9 system points back, and suffered a huge loss of blood. These days, it's really hard to earn system points. I hope Yanren will gain a lot this time, which will allow me, as a master, to make a fortune and break through to the sky control realm. When will these miserable days end? Chapter 71. 4 days passed in the blink of an eye, and it was the last day before the end of the secret realm. Those corpse puppets who were sent out to collect heavenly materials and earthly treasures also stopped their actions on this day and began to rush back to the grotto one after another. Great! These monsters are finally leaving. Hurry up and take advantage of the last day to see what treasures you can find. This time you enter the secret realm, you can't go bankrupt. What the hell? Is this still the Qian secret realm? When was I transported out of the secret realm? After 4 days of fearful fighting among many monks, nearly 80% to 90% of them had been looted by corpse puppets. Only some people with the secret technique of concealing their aura could barely escape the poisonous hands of the corpse puppet. But now, as the corpse puppets left, everyone just wanted to take advantage of the last moment to collect them in the secret realm, but they found that the secret realm at this time was simply miserable. Everywhere you look, there is no grass growing. There were even some yellow-grade low-grade herbs that many monks looked down upon on the ground before, but now they are all gone. Hey, that's all. I'm lucky to be alive. Many monks could only find an excuse to comfort themselves in the end. At least those terrifying monsters did not kill them, which was already great. At this time, in the grotto, all the corpse puppets sent out have returned. These 5 storage bags contain herbs. These 3 storage bags contain magic weapons. As for other miscellaneous spiritual stones and ores, they are all in these 2 storage bags. By the way, there are also 2 storage bags, with jars filled with spiritual liquid. After the man in the coffin sorted the many heavenly materials and earthly treasures brought back by the corpse puppet one by one, he respectfully took the storage bag and came to Leng Yanren, who had just finished practicing, to report. Yes, not bad. After today, when the secret realm is over, I will return your freedom. This can be considered as fulfilling the promise between us. Leng Yanren put away the more than 10 storage bags in front of her, counting the rewards she had received from thousands of talented people before, as well as the previous accumulation of the person in the coffin. Her harvest this time was filled with more than 20 storage bags. Each storage bag has 10 cubic meters of space. Such a harvest is quite rich. Master will be very happy to have harvested so many treasures from heaven and earth this time. Leng Yanren couldn't help but smile sweetly when she thought that she would be able to end this secret realm soon and return to her master. Hiss, this ant still laughs when she joins hands. The person in the coffin on the side seemed to have seen something extremely incredible, muttering to himself. Ever since he saw Leng Yanren, he had never seen her smile. He thought she was a cold-faced devil. Didn't he expect that this guy could also smile? That's all, I don't think about it anymore. Anyway, after today, he will be able to leave the secret realm with the infinite realm again and become a strong man. Infinite scenery is waiting for him to enjoy. In front of Qian Immortal Palace, Qianzi's preaching gradually stopped. The remaining soul, which was still solid at first, is now like a candle in the wind, as if it will dissipate at any time. Disciple, thank you Master for preaching. Master, don't worry. If this disciple succeeds in cultivation in the future, he will kill those thieves who plotted against Master back then one by one. Li Shenruo has now incorporated the immortal level Kung Fu into his sea of consciousness. He only needs to go back and study hard, and he will be able to start practicing in a short time. I am very pleased that you have such intention. Forget it, now that the successor has been found and this remnant of my soul is useless, I will help you again. After Kai Yunzi said this, before Li Shenruo could speak, he put a palm on the top of his head and poured the remaining spiritual power of this remnant soul into his body. In the end, the remaining soul dispersed, leaving only Li Shenruo sitting cross-legged in the square. Disciple, thank you Master. Li Shenruo didn't dare to delay when he saw this. Although he felt a little emotional in his heart, he still quickly digested the spiritual power that Kai Yunzi had put into his body. As long as you absorb it, you can break through to the ruins realm. In this secret realm, apart from Leng Yanren who gained the most, it was she who gained the most. Not only did he receive the inheritance from the immortal level Kung Fu and the 6th level formation master, but he also received a heaven level magic weapon and Kai Yunzi's final spiritual energy filling his body, allowing him to break through to the return to ruins realm. Half an hour later, Li Shenruo's aura began to rise continuously. Break. With a low drink, the bottleneck of Universal Truth Realm 9th layer completely disappeared. Li Shenruo's aura has suddenly reached the return to ruin state. Before she could be happy, the entire secret realm began to shake violently. Rumble, the ground also began to fall apart, and bottomless cracks appeared. Even the sky began to light up and darken, and the entire secret realm became extremely unstable. What happened? Li Shenruo was a little confused. Even if someone in the secret realm broke through to the return to ruins realm, it would not cause the secret realm to collapse. But now the collapse of the secret realm is a fact. Fortunately, there is a teleportation array leaving the secret realm in the square of Qian Immortal Palace. As the secret realm began to collapse, the teleportation array also lit up at the right time. She did not dare to delay any longer and quickly entered the array and left. What's going on? Why did the secret realm start to collapse? Even if the secret realm is about to close, it won't collapse. Don't worry so much. It's important to escape quickly. It's too late if you don't run away. Many monks in the secret realm were also frightened by the sudden scene and began to run towards the nearest teleportation array. In addition to the square in the center, there are also teleportation arrays leaving the secret realm in the other 4 directions. Kai Yunzi has considered this extremely thoughtfully. Walk. Leng Yanran also felt something strange in the secret realm, but she didn't need to panic. Not far outside the grotto was the teleportation array in this direction. Without hesitation, he took the more than 20 storage bags harvested this time, greeted the person in the coffin, and left quickly. Seeing this, the person in the coffin quickly ordered all the corpse puppets to leave the place with him. The corpse puppets accumulated over the years can allow him to establish a considerable force even if they reach the outside world. At least it would be easy to dominate the northern territory. After a while, many geniuses in the secret realm had left through the teleportation array. The secret realm was finally overwhelmed. With a sound of boom, the entire small space completely collapsed and completely disappeared between heaven and earth. Buzz, rays of light lit up, and everyone in the secret realm returned to the entrance. Everyone felt like they had escaped from death, breathing heavily. On the top of each mountain, many elders and sect leaders from various forces were waiting outside, and they all looked sideways when they saw this. Hey, why do all of these people look like they are on the run? With the return of many geniuses, the sky above the exit was densely packed with people. But for some unknown reason, more than 90% of them were in ragged clothes, and even had bruises on their noses, swollen faces, and wounds all over their bodies. It was too miserable to look at. All the forces were dumbfounded by this scene. Although there would be casualties when participating in the secret realm in the past, after all, it is normal for fights to occur when encountering natural and earthly treasures in the secret realm. But that doesn't mean that more than 90% of people are like this. Before many forces could ask, the entrance teleportation array exploded with a boom sound. What is happening? What are you little fools doing in there? Why did you destroy all the secret realms? When the sect leaders of the 3 major sects saw this scene, they all felt distressed. This Red Cloud secret realm is the best secret realm in their northern region. Every 200 years, they can harvest a large amount of natural and earthly treasures and various resources. It is even said that there is an inheritance of immortals. Although it has not been passed away now, it is still a hope, right? But now, the secret realm that has existed for thousands of years suddenly collapsed. After a while, the geniuses of the major sects had returned to the top of the mountain where their sects were located. Why do you all look like this? What's going on? Yangchun perfected being had a dark face and questioned the disciples of the Golden Cauldron sect. We don't know this either, but suddenly there are many monsters from the ruins realm appearing in the secret realm, beating us to death. If they hadn't handed over the treasure and left, the disciples would have died in the secret realm. Etc. Sect Master, look, it's those monsters. Why did those monsters come out too? The disciples of the Golden Cauldron sect were all dejected and with droopy faces as they reported their own situation. As they were talking, one of the disciples suddenly opened his eyes wide and pointed at the densely packed corpses above the secret realm and started shouting. Soon, everything that happened in the secret realm was reported by the geniuses of the major forces, letting everyone understand what happened. Not only were they treated as tools by Lang Yanren after entering the secret realm, but they also handed over the rewards one by one, and even handed over many of their natural and earthly treasures. Finally, I had the opportunity to search for heavenly materials and earthly treasures, but they were taken away by the monsters in the ruins realm one after another. Hiss. Why do those monsters seem to be related to Fairy Lang? Yangchun perfected being inadvertently glanced at the corpse puppets, and was horrified to find that there were 2 demonic beasts from the Nirvana realm among them, and there was even a strong man whose body was dark green with no discernible shades. But these monsters all maintained a very respectful attitude towards Lang Yanren. Anyone who is not a fool will immediately understand that these monsters are helping Lang Yanren collect heavenly materials and earthly treasures. Fairy Lang, I'm afraid there's something wrong with what you're doing. Although the treasures of heaven and earth in the secret realm are supposed to be inhabited by the strong, they still have to give us a sip of soup. How can we seriously injure all our disciples? I don't ask for anything else. I just hope that Fairy Lang can compensate half of the harvest from this secret realm to all our Northern Territory sects. In this way, Fairy Lang will still gain a lot and leave a good reputation. What do you think? The person who spoke was the leader of the Mish sect, and his realm was as high as the 9th layer of Guishu realm. After hearing his words, all other sects chose to remain silent. They all looked at Lang Yanren, wanting to hear what she would do. What about that, Fairy Lang? My Golden Cauldron sect is not involved in this matter, and I, the Golden Cauldron sect, will not take any of the harvest from this secret realm. Ahem, I, Poyuan Temple, have never liked fighting. Just like Yangchun fellow Taoist, I will not participate. I, the Hongguang sect, will not participate in this matter. Fairy Lang can do whatever she wants. Yangchun perfected being was well aware of Lang Yanren's terror and made a prompt decision. As for Abbot Konkai, now that he thinks of Lang Yanren's master, he can't help but feel frightened, and he hastily got rid of him. Hongguang sect is one of the 3 major sects. Seeing that both of them are like this, they naturally don't want to stand out. Oh, that's how it is. Okay, I really should give you some compensation. I wonder if a jade pendant containing my master's divine ability is enough. When Lang Yanren heard the man's words, her face did not waver at all, and she even raised her hand slightly to stop the man in the coffin who was about to take action. Of course one of that senior's jade pendants is enough. So, thank you Fairy Lang. When the leader of Mahay's sect heard this, his eyes lit up. Lang Yanren's master is not ordinary powerful. If you can get one of his divine ability jade pendants, it can be used as a treasure to suppress the clan. Sure enough, only the brave will have meat to eat, haha. Then continue. Lang Yanren casually patted the storage bag on her waist, and a jade pendant containing the divine ability appeared in her hand. Throw it gently towards the top of the mountain where Mahay's sect is located. Everyone was jealous when they saw this and regretted why they didn't speak up just now to take the lead. This jade pendant is theirs. Thank you Lang. Ah, the leader of Mahay's sect excitedly wanted to take the jade pendant, but suddenly saw a crack on the jade pendant, and his eyes widened suddenly. The jade pendant was shattered, and a 3,000-foot-tall black sky monument exuded a strong evil aura and slammed into the top of the mountain where Mahay's sect was located. After the screams, the original mountaintop no longer existed, and only the terrifying sky monument was left standing. Gouda! Everyone's eyes widened and they couldn't help but swallow. The envy in my heart just now turned into fear. Yangchun perfected being even secretly said, sure enough, is it so easy to take advantage of this cold devil? If she was easy to take advantage of, the Luo Tian sect would not be wiped out. Everyone, is there anyone else who needs compensation? I have a lot of jade pendants here. If anyone wants them, I'm not a stingy person. After Lang Yanren casually destroyed the Mahay sect, she felt no disturbance in her heart. She glanced at the many power masters with a calm expression, as if they were saying insignificant words. Haha, what are you talking about, Fairy Lang? The leader of the Mahay sect is so bold, I can't stand it for a long time. Even if Fairy Lang didn't take action just now, we would join forces to attack. Fairy Lang can kill it, which also saves us trouble, hee hee. Many forces changed their faces one after another and never mentioned compensation. Since you don't have any objections, let's leave. When Lang Yanren saw this, she planned to leave back to the mountain. She couldn't wait to see her master. But suddenly, everyone opened their eyes wide and looked into the distance. Several figures, exuding a terrifying aura that makes people crawl to the ground, are flying towards this place at a very fast speed. In the blink of an eye, 6 figures exuding a terrifying aura appeared in front of everyone. Isn't this the ancestor summoned by the genius of the Eastern region? Someone soon recognized the ancestor of the Ren family. At that time, his strength at the 9th layer level almost destroyed Leng Yanren, but he was saved by her master. Now the ancestor of the Ren family has come to the Northern Territory in person. And it seems that he has brought a magic weapon with him, so he is obviously prepared. I don't know if Leng Yanren's mysterious master can survive this time. Ancestor of the Ren family. Even the clan leader and the 4 elders are here. It seems that the Ren family is really angry this time. After coming out of the secret realm, Li Shenruo and Wang Yan originally planned to leave immediately and return to the eastern region. Now that I saw the ancestor of the Ren family arriving in person, I couldn't help but stop. Ancestor, who can kill Kier? As soon as the head of the Ren family arrived, he completely released his 9th layer heavenly aura, which made everyone present unable to stand up straight. Now that he is here, he will not just kill one person, he will make these Northern Territory forces bleed violently. After all, Ren Kirui also fell in the Northern Territory, and he will make them pay the price. HMPH, little girl, where is your master? Why don't you dare to show up? Ancestor Ren ignored his words and his eyes fell directly on Leng Yanren. At the same time, Leng Yanren's aura was locked to prevent her from having a secret method of escaping. Hateful. Leng Yanren suddenly felt as if she was carrying a huge mountain on her back, but she still gritted her teeth and held on to prevent her back from bending. Except master, she will not bow to anyone. My aunt, think of a solution quickly. How on earth did you provoke such an old monster? The person in the coffin standing nearby was also feeling uncomfortable, with veins popping out on his forehead, and he was holding back a sentence under tremendous pressure. I thought that once I got out of the secret realm, I would be free to roam, but I didn't expect that I would directly encounter an old monster in the spirit partitioning period. What's the difference between this and dying directly in the collapse of the secret realm? The only thing the person in the coffin can hope for is that the person behind Leng Yanren can take action. At this moment, several figures suddenly appeared in the distance, and they were people from the Holy Mountain and Xiaoyao Palace. Elder. When Li Shenruo saw the familiar figure, his eyes suddenly lit up. The 3 elders of the Holy Mountain arrived slowly with Li Yorong. They were relieved to see that Li Shenruo had not had any accidents. When Ancestor Ren saw someone coming from the Holy Mountain, he couldn't help but frown and secretly became wary. Fellow Taoist, we are here only to take Shenruo back to the mountain. For other matters, it is up to fellow Taoist to do as he pleases. The elder of the Holy Mountain noticed his gaze and replied casually. After that, he was about to take Li Shenruo and leave. Elder, can you save that woman? Li Shenruo glanced at Leng Yanren, who was under tremendous pressure, hesitated for a moment and asked softly. She was able to obtain the immortal level Kung Fu. In fact, Leng Yanren had a lot to do with it. It could even be said that Leng Yanren took the initiative to give her the opportunity of the immortal level Kung Fu. We don't need to create enemies of the spirit partitioning realm in the Holy Mountain. Be obedient and follow us back to the mountain. The elder of the Holy Mountain frowned slightly and rejected Li Shenruo's words without any hesitation. Only Li Yorong frowned when he looked at Leng Yanren. He felt a little intolerable, but he didn't dare to mention it to the elder. Old Ghost Ren, what have you done to my chief disciple Wang Yan of Xiaoyao Palace? Hurry and hand over my chief disciple of Xiaoyao Palace. However, the forces from Xiaoyao Palace did not see Wang Yan for a long time after arriving at the scene, and they immediately glared at Patriarch Ren. I didn't take action against you people from Xiaoyao Palace. I came here just to help Kier get revenge. Don't throw dirty water on me, hit me if you want. Ancestor Ren was already upset, and when he heard that the other party framed him, he frowned and was extremely unhappy. What, I'm here. Wang Yan, with a swollen pig-headed face, quietly stepped forward and pulled the Taoist robe of Palace Master Xiaoyao. Where did the pig demon come from? Go away. The palace owner turned around and was startled by the pig head that suddenly came forward. He raised his foot and kicked the man away. With a sound of Boom, a deep human-shaped hole was smashed into the ground. Etc. Hiss. Yunur, are you okay? The palace owner suddenly realized that the man's aura was extremely familiar, as if it was Wang Yan. He quickly landed next to the pothole and fished out the half-dead Wang Yan. There were many comminuted fractures on his body, and he was unable to move. He was holding a pig's head on his head, and there were crystal tears running across the corners of his eyes, washing away the dust on his face and leaving 2 traces. At this time, Wang Yan felt that he had reached the most miserable moment in his life. When I came to this remote place in the Northern Territory to participate in the secret realm, I ate a mouthful of ashes before entering the secret realm, and almost died in the hands of Master Leng Yanren. After entering the secret realm, he was extorted again by Leng Yanren, and was even robbed of all the natural and earthly treasures by the monsters in the Return to Ruins realm. Even his clothes were robbed and only a fig leaf was left. Now, after finally waiting for the Palace Lord to arrive, I still want to ask the Palace Lord to help me make the decision, but I was almost kicked to death by the Palace Lord. Life, actually doesn't mean much, and there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with dying like this. Wang Yan took a deep look at the Palace Master and closed his eyes silently. But as the Palace Master fed him a few pills, his life was extended again. It seems that your master will not come. Well, then I'll kill you first, and then search the entire Northern Territory. I won't believe that I can't catch him. The ancestor of the Ren family saw this scene, but he had no intention of ridiculing. Leng Yanren's master has not arrived yet, and he has lost his patience. When the next step was taken, everyone's eyes were blurred, and then they saw that Patriarch Ren was already standing in front of Leng Yanren, and pinched Leng Yanren's white neck with one hand. Buzz, the jade pendant given by Master hanging on Leng Yanren's chest emitted a dazzling light. He resisted Ancestor Ren's hand for a moment. Just when Ren Ancestor's eyes were blurred and he was about to start again and strangle his neck, he found that there was an additional young man in front of him. It was the young man who killed Ren Kirui, this woman's master. She even looked at him with a faint smile. Humph, you finally dared to show up. It just saves me the trouble of searching through the Northern Territory. Kill me, the descendant of the Ren family, and smash my clone. Today, both your master and disciple will pay for it with their lives. Ancestor Ren gave a low shout, but unable to see through Chen Daoshuan's strength, he did not choose to confront him head-on. Instead, he returned to his original position and called for everyone in the Ren family to set up their formation. Isn't it too late for Master? Chen Daoshuan glanced at the ancestor Ren, then turned around, gently hugged Leng Yanren into his arms, touched his hair and asked softly. Master. The moment the master appeared, the mountain-like pressure on Leng Yanren disappeared. Master. Feeling the temperature in Master's arms and the unique fragrance of Master, Leng Yanren's whole body softened and she lay on Master's broad chest. With the strength of the Universal Truth Realm 7th layer, she can withstand the pressure of the powerful Spirit Partitioning Realm without giving up. It is really not easy. Just to resist the coercion, she had used up 90% of the spiritual power in the Qi Si at this time. If Chen Daoshuan came later, he might be injured if he continued to hold on. Disciple, you didn't embarrass your master, did you? Lying in the master's arms, Leng Yanren asked softly. It had only been 3 or 4 months since she became the master's disciple, but she had caused a lot of trouble for the master. Every time he caused trouble, the master had to appear in person to solve it. For a moment, Leng Yanren felt that she was so useless. You must become stronger, strong enough to solve all troubles and eliminate all blind enemies for Master. Of course I didn't embarrass my teacher. Facing the Spirit Partitioning Realm with the Universal Truth Realm without flinching, who else in this world, besides my disciple Chen Daoshuan, has such courage? Chen Daoshuan smiled lightly, patted Leng Yanren's head and comforted her. But, disciple always brings trouble to Master. How about the disciples stay on the mountain from now on and stop running around? Leng Yanren felt warm in her heart when she heard her master's gentle words. I couldn't help but rubbed my little head into Master's arms again, and said aggrievedly. My teacher said that there is no problem in this world that my teacher cannot solve. You just have to be confident and bold to do what you want to do and go where you want to go. Everything will be supported by your teacher. Chen Daoshuan raised his eyebrows slightly when he heard this. But she can't let her disciples have such thoughts. If she only stays in the mountain from now on, although it is indeed good, how can she earn system points? Look, what a rich gift my good apprentice has brought to me this time. How can this be trouble? This is clearly a living system. The Guishu realm starts at 10 points, the Nirvana realm starts at 100 points, the Infinite realm starts at 1,000 points, and the ancestor of the Ren family just now, the Spirit Partitioning realm, has at least tens of thousands of system points. Especially when he thought about the fact that he had spent 1,000 system points to kill the clone of the ancestor of the Ren family and lost money. This time I found an opportunity to make back my money. No, I made a fortune. Mysterious guy, huh, you are still acting coy even when you are about to die. I will kill you later to avenge Kier, and then I will deprive your disciple of cultivation and place him in a brothel in the eastern region. If you dare to touch my son, have you ever thought about the consequences? The head of the Ren family frowned and shouted at Chen Daoshuan. Although he could only tell that Chen Daoshuan was in the first layer of the Qi realm, and could not know his true realm, but now that the ancestor was aside, he even brought the 5 elements formation flag. Even if he encountered the Spirit Partitioning realm's 7th layer, the power of heaven can also suppress it. In his opinion, no matter how strong Chen Daoshuan is, he will never be a powerful person above the Spirit Partitioning realm's 7th layer. That would be enough to dominate the eastern region. Noisy. Chen Daoshuan frowned slightly. He didn't feel anything when he heard the man's words. After all, they were all dying and were about to become his system point. But when he heard the other party insulting his disciple, Chen Daoshuan admitted that he was a little angry. Palace Master, the reason this disciple is so miserable is because of Leng Yanran. Please ask the Palace Master to help this disciple make the decision. Wang Yan, who woke up next to him, saw Leng Yanran's master confronting the Ren family, and his eyes suddenly lit up again, and he complained to the Palace Master next to him. Oh, that's it. Don't worry, I will help you make the decision. But now it's better for the Ren family to help explore the other party's depth. If the other party can hurt both the Ren family and the Ren family, we can just reap the benefits. Xiaoyao Palace Master also looked slightly sideways when he heard Wang Yan's words. He had no intention of intervening and left, but stopped again. Elder, I want to ask the elder for help, that's all. Hey. Li Shenruo noticed the situation on the field and once again spoke to the elder to propose a helping hand, but when the elder's eyes stopped her, she could only sigh. Their holy mountain can be called the strongest force in the eastern region, but they have always remained neutral in the battles between major forces. It is precisely because of this that all forces have never joined forces to fight against the holy mountain, giving the holy mountain a transcendent status. If we attack the Ren family today and break everyone's default rules, maybe other forces will be wary of the holy mountain and join forces to resist. It's over now. It's not easy for us in the Northern Territory to have a peerless genius like Leng Yanran appear, as well as a powerful and mysterious master behind him. Now I have offended the big forces in the eastern region. Hey. Many forces in the Northern Territory couldn't help but shake their heads and sigh. The Northern Territory has always been short of resources, and even the masters of the Infinite Realm are rare in thousands of years. Nowadays, a master belonging to the Northern Territory has finally appeared. If he does not fall, the backbone of the Northern Territory will be strengthened a lot in the future. At least when facing people from other regions, he can say that there are strong people in the Northern Territory. Come. Everyone's thoughts naturally fell into Chen Daoshuan's eyes, but he didn't care. As long as the other party doesn't take the initiative or make rude remarks, he won't insist on killing them. HMPH, no matter how powerful you are still an ant in the Northern Territory. My ancestor of the Ren family is here, and I have the 5 elements formation flag. Even if you have Spirit Partitioning realm cultivation, I will kill you. Today, I will avenge my son. When the head of the Ren family looked at Chen Daoshuan, his eyes were full of hatred. He was just such a son, and he had the expectations of the entire Ren family. You talk too much. Chen Daoshuan raised his eyebrows, then slowly lowered his figure and came to the elders of the Holy Mountain and Li Shenruo. It was also the first time for him to face a strong man from the Spirit Partitioning realm, and he was still a little unsure. Although it shouldn't be difficult to kill the opponent, he was also afraid of accidentally injuring the disciple in his arms. Please help me take care of my Yanran. Chen Daoxuan glanced at Li Shenruo and found that he had already practiced the immortal level skills. He couldn't help but shook his head with regret. It seemed that he had no master-disciple relationship with him. Then he unexpectedly glanced at Li Yorong, who looked innocent. However, he didn't care about this at the moment, but asked several elders of the Holy Mountain to please. Senior, don't worry. The 3 Holy Mountain elders originally wanted to refuse and not wade into this muddy water, but after all, Li Shenruo was favored by others and agreed first. Seeing this, the elders of the Holy Mountain could only keep silent. Master, are you not in danger? Lang Yanran couldn't help but ask nervously and worriedly when she saw her master placing her here. It's not dangerous, but it's a bit troublesome. The main reason is that the teacher is worried that their blood will stain their clothes, which will make them uncomfortable. Chen Daoxuan originally said that there was some trouble, but everyone present was a little worried, especially Lang Yanran, who almost said something to let the master escape. But then, the second sentence made everyone present a little confused. Obviously he didn't mean to worry about himself being hurt, but he was worried about the other person. Hiss, this is too arrogant. You arrogant ant, remember my name, and remember better in the next life so that you don't mess with my family. I am the head of the Ren family, Ren, The head of the Ren family was furious when he heard Chen Daoxuan's words, but before he finished speaking the harsh words, he found that he could not speak out. Chen Daoxuan was obviously still where the Holy Mountain was a moment ago, but now, he was holding his neck with one hand and looking at him coldly. When the 4 elders of the Ren family saw this, they were all shocked. They had no idea when Chen Daoxuan took action, and why he suddenly choked the patriarch next to them. What kind of movement is this? The ancestor of the Ren family's pupils suddenly shrank. With his spirit partitioning realm 4th layer strength, he didn't even see Chen Daoxuan's movements clearly. He only saw an afterimage where Chen Daoxuan originally stood. When he turned around, he found that already appeared behind him. There were several people present in the spirit partitioning realm, but no one saw Chen Daoxuan's movements clearly. Including the elders of the Holy Mountain, their eyes widened in shock. Let go of the patriarch. Do it. After the Ren family reacted, they immediately jumped up and attacked Chen Daoxuan. Every divine ability contained terrifying power, and the distance was so close that there was no room to dodge. But as the 4 attacks collided, and after a loud, bang, sound, the light dissipated, and everyone was even more shocked. Not only was Chen Daoxuan missing, but the head of the family was also missing. What kind of divine ability body technique is this? When everyone found Chen Daoxuan, they found that he had returned to the top of the Holy Mountain. He was looking at the ancestor of the Ren family and the 4 elders with a faint smile, and pinched the neck of the head of the Ren family like a chicken. He is obviously a strong man in the 9th layer of the infinite realm, but in his hands there is absolutely no room for struggle and resistance. It was as if all his spiritual power was restricted. Family leader Ren couldn't even mobilize his spiritual power to resist. Your name is Ren, right? Come, kowtow to my disciple for what you just said, and this matter will be over. Tisk, don't want to. Let me help you. Chen Daoxuan ignored the shocked people, just lifted the back of Ren family leader's neck and spoke very calmly. After saying that, seeing that the head of the Ren family did not kneel down, he simply stepped down with both feet. Click, click. With 2 crisp sounds, the head of the Ren family in the 9th layer heaven of the infinite realm had his legs destroyed by Chen Daoxuan. Then he pressed him in front of Lang Yanran, grabbed his head, bang, 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 and hit the ground 3 times. The head of the Ren family had no spiritual power to resist. These 3 powerful blows almost killed him. He felt like stars were popping up in his eyes, and his orifices were so shocked that he continued to bleed. Well, okay, let's forget about insulting my disciple Chen Daoxuan. I see you're tired too. Let's lie down and rest for a while. I'll take you all away later. Chen Daoxuan saw that the head of the Ren family was half dead and could only take in and out of breath, so he simply threw him to the ground. Master, not to mention that everyone present was confused, even Lang Yanran herself was confused. Why did the master cripple one of them before it even started? Just like that, he was arrested and crippled under the eyes of the ancestor of the Ren family. Set up the formation. The ancestor of the Ren family ignored his surprise and glared at Chen Daoxuan angrily. Then he waved his hand and summoned a formation flag from the head of the Ren family, who had collapsed on the ground. When the other 4 elders saw how ferocious Chen Daoxuan was, they did not dare to take it lightly anymore, for fear that they would also be suddenly captured, killed and maimed. Each took out a formation flag with gold, wood, water, fire and earth on it. After setting up the 5-element formation, they can use the power of the 5 elements to fight against the enemy. Even the strong ones in the spirit partitioning realm are not easy to deal with. And after setting up the formation, the 5 people are as one, and Chen Daoxuan cannot break them one by one. The attack will be evenly distributed among the 5 people. Fire array. The ancestor of the Ren family waved the formation flag, and a fire dragon suddenly gathered from the formation. After a dragon roar, it rushed towards Chen Daoxuan. What a powerful attack! When Chen Daoxuan saw this, he couldn't help but frown slightly, looked at the extraordinary fire dragon and murmured in a low voice. Boy, now you know the consequences of provoking my Ren family. It's a pity that it's too late to regret. When the ancestor of the Ren family saw this, he couldn't help but reveal a ferocious smile. Even I wouldn't dare to resist the Ren family's 5 elements formation alone, and it can lock the Qi machine. Even if he has special movement skills, he can't avoid it forever. I'm afraid this farce is coming to an end. Upon seeing this, Master Xiaoyao Palace couldn't help but secretly marvel at the power of the Ren family's 5 elements formation. You actually attacked us. The elders of the Holy Mountain frowned when they saw this, and the 3 elders worked together to use their spiritual power to set up a barrier, for fear of affecting them. The barrier included Lang Yanren and the family head, but left Chen Daoxuan outside. Boom! Soon, the fire dragon slammed into Chen Daoxuan's body. From the head of the dragon, it turned into a diffuse heavenly firelight, until the tail of the dragon slowly dissipated. Master, let me out! When Lang Yanren saw this, she rushed towards the formation barrier and kept beating it. But the elders of the Holy Mountain will naturally not disperse the barrier. Otherwise, although the aftermath alone will not hurt them, Li Shenruo and Li Yorong will not be able to withstand it. Even if you don't care about Lang Yanren, you can't let the people of the Holy Mountain be harmed. Everyone felt that Chen Daoxuan would definitely die if he resisted this blow. But as the diffuse heavenly fire light dissipated, only a figure was left, with one hand behind his back and the other palm in front of him, with steam still emitting from it. So strong, almost burned me, Chen Daoxuan murmured in a low voice in surprise. You must know that his physique is the Hongmeng innate Dao body. Not only is his cultivation level billions of times more terrifying than others, but his physical body is also the most terrifying weapon in the world. This fire dragon almost burned him, how terrifying. But he didn't think about it. Now he is only in the first layer of Qi realm. Almost burned. What the hell? Is this guy's body an immortal weapon? But when these words fell into everyone's ears, they were like a thunderous explosion, almost making people's eyes fall out in shock. Impossible. You must have used some kind of defensive magic weapon. There is no way anyone can resist my Ren family's 5 elements formation. The ancestor of the Ren family was like a bolt from the blue, unable to believe the scene in front of him. After hearing the words of the Ren family ancestor, others also reacted one after another. How could such a terrifying attack be resisted forcefully? It is possible to resist it with a magic weapon. That attack just now with the help of the 5 elements formation, even the master of Xiaoyao Palace and the 3 elders of the Holy Mountain who were present, no one dared to say that they could withstand it by themselves. Naturally, they would not believe that anyone in this borderland of the Northern Territory could do it. From beginning to end, in the eyes of the people in the Eastern region, the Northern region was just a small place. Even if there were strong men, they were just bigger ants. But now that they see Chen Daoxuan's performance, everyone in the Eastern region can't help but change their minds. After all, regardless of whether he relies on magic weapons or not, he does have the strength for them to take him seriously. Boy, your magic weapon that can withstand my Ren family's 5 elements formation must not be reusable. Even if you can block one blow, how will you deal with the rest? HMPH, in the barren land of the Northern Territory, I don't believe you can still come up with a magic weapon like that just now. The ancestor of the Ren family has no doubts about his judgment. Even if Chen Daoxuan has a magic weapon, how many times can he resist it? Water formation. Waving the formation flag again, a water unicorn condensed out, and the power it exuded was no weaker than the fire dragon just now. For a moment, everyone present could not help but feel a damp chill coming. As the ancestor of the Ren family waved the formation flag, the water unicorn looked up to the sky and roared, then roared towards Chen Daoxuan through the water mist. Everyone was staring at Chen Daoxuan, wondering if he could still come up with a magic weapon that could withstand the attack of the five elements formation. A magic weapon. I seem to have a magic weapon. If you didn't tell me, I would have almost forgotten it. Thank you for reminding me. When Chen Daoxuan saw the water unicorn rushing towards him, he didn't panic at all. Instead, his eyes lit up. Not to mention the magic weapon, he really had it. If the other party hadn't reminded him, he would have forgotten that he had a magic weapon that he could use. It's just a good opportunity to try the power of the magic weapon. With a backhand move, a ruler that looked very simple and ordinary appeared in his hand, but the thick black and yellow aura exuding from it proved that it was something extraordinary. The two characters, Hongmeng, on the ruler are exactly the treasure of merit he obtained from the initial gift package, Hongmeng Ruler. The power of this ruler is not the most powerful. The most terrifying thing is its accompanying characteristics. Killing is not related to cause and effect. As Chen Daoxuan said to his disciples, if you commit too many murders for no reason, you may be entangled in karma, be corroded by inner demons in the future, and your luck will be greatly affected. But if you use a treasure of merit and virtue such as the Hongmeng ruler to kill people, you will not be contaminated with karma at all. At this time, the water unicorn had already rushed in front of him. The terrifying power exuded by the water unicorn, even the barrier set up by the three elders of the holy mountain behind Chen Daoxuan rippled, showing the terrifying power. The people from the northern territory present had never seen such a terrifying attack. The elders of their respective sects set up barriers, fearing that they would be accidentally injured in the aftermath. Everyone stared at Chen Daoxuan with wide eyes. I saw him take out a ruler magic weapon with no discernible rank, with a plain smile on his face, carrying it on his left hand, raising the ruler with his right hand and tapping it lightly on the water unicorn's head. It does look like a teacher giving a lesson to a student. Is this guy scared out of his mind? You plan to resist the attack of the five elements formation water Qilin in such an understatement. Everyone couldn't help but shake their heads secretly when they saw this. The power emitted by the water unicorn was so terrifying. How powerful could it be? But Chen Daoxuan didn't seem to take it seriously at all. He obviously knew that he couldn't resist it and was showing off, right? Only one person, after seeing Chen Daoxuan take out the Hongmeng ruler, his eyes were filled with confidence. That was Leng Yanren, who had seen the true power of Hongmeng ruler. Just now, Leng Yanren was flustered and confused. Now that Leng Yanren calmed down, she realized how stupid she was. What kind of existence is master? It can even make the dead come back to life and ask questions. How can the Ren family compete with it? If the master is provoked, the Ren family will truly seek death. Moreover, master has already used this divine weapon, so the Ren family will definitely be doomed, but I don't know if there will be a chance to experience Ren Kirui's ability to save a dragon. The Hongmeng ruler gently landed on the head of the water unicorn. Wah! With a soft sound, the water unicorn exploded like a water ball. Wah! What? With just one click, the water unicorn disappeared. What on earth is going on? Everyone was originally waiting to see what kind of power the water unicorn could unleash, and how Chen Daoxuan would resist it. But now this understatement made everyone dumbfounded. They even suspected that the water unicorn had no power at all and just looked scary. The ancestor of the Ren family is releasing water, intending to catch them alive. But looking at the ancestor of the Ren family at this time, his old face was as full of shock as theirs, and he couldn't understand how Chen Daoxuan did it just now. Who are you? The ancestor of the Ren family was horrified and wanted to ask Chen Daoxuan how he did it. But before he could finish his words, his eyes widened and his whole body began to tremble uncontrollably. In his eyes, Chen Daoxuan was standing there slender and well-proportioned while holding the Hongmeng ruler, but he was like a giant standing tall on the sky and the earth. It seemed that he was the strict master of all the heavens and worlds and even the supreme saint, holding a ruler in his hand and waving it gently towards him. He wants to escape. Escape to the Ren family in the eastern region? No. The further away the better. So far away that I will never meet Chen Daoxuan again. But now, except for trembling constantly, he couldn't make any movement at all, as if he was a student being punished by the teacher. Only when you really face it can you know the horror of this ruler. In the eyes of others, Chen Daoxuan just waved the Hongmeng ruler gently towards Patriarch Ren. PFF'd, Ancestor Ren suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood, and his whole aura began to decline rapidly. It was as if all the life in his body had disappeared with Chen Daoxuan's inadvertent swing of a foot from the air. Sacrifice. Sacrifice them all to me. Ancestor Ren supported his body, roared suddenly, and began to absorb the vitality of the four elders. Ah, Ancestor, don't do it. The four elders were immediately in agony, and their bodies became human at a speed visible to the naked eye, leaving only their breaths that could not be detected. Run, I want to escape from this place, this person is too scary. Only then did Ancestor Ren get a breather, and there was only one thought left in his mind: he was going to struggle to use the secret method to escape. But when he turned around, his eyes were full of fear. Chen Daoxuan had stopped behind him in an instant. Old man, don't leave in a hurry. I have something from my heart that I want to tell you. Chen Daoxuan looked at Patriarch Ren in front of him with a kind face, as if he had seen a ghost. He also didn't expect that the Hongmeng ruler he just waved could be so powerful. I thought that it would be enough to break the opponent's formation, but I didn't expect that I almost killed Ancestor Ren. If Ancestor Ren hadn't relied on the secret method and the 5 elements formation flag to absorb the vitality of the other 4 elders, I'm afraid he would have taken the first step by now. Old man, don't leave in a hurry. I have a few words from my heart that I would like to share with you. Chen Daoxuan said to Patriarch Ren with a kind smile. While speaking, he also flicked a burst of energy towards the 4 elders of Ren who had been sucked into the human body and were hanging with only one breath left. Puff, 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 puff. 4 sounds were heard in succession, and a bloody hole appeared on the foreheads of the 4 elders who were already on the verge of death, completely cutting off their chance of life. Seeing that the 4 of them were extremely happy after being absorbed by their vitality, Chen Daoxuan did not dare to delay. This was the system point he had been thinking about. If the opponent dies like this, if he does not count the kill and does not get the reward, it will really be a blood loss. You know, these 4 elders are all powerful in the infinite realm, and any one of them has thousands of system points. The system prompts also sounded in Chen Daoxuan's mind. The host kills the 4th layer of the infinite realm and is rewarded with 4,000 system points. Closing square bracket. The host kills the 6th layer of the infinite realm and is rewarded with 6,000 system points. Closing square bracket. The host kills the 7th layer of the infinite realm and is rewarded with 7,000 system points. Closing square bracket. The host kills the 8th layer of the infinite realm and is rewarded with 8,000 system points. Closing square bracket. Chen Daoxuan's eyes lit up when he heard several reminders in his mind. 4,000, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, obediently. Altogether, I earned a full 25,000 system points. Until now, he had been frugal and did not dare to use system points to improve his cultivation, so he barely saved 4,000 system points. Before Leng Yanren entered the secret realm, he spent 1,000 to take action, and now he has used 1 more thousands of shots. Just now, Leng Yanren used the jade pendant to destroy a small sect and gained hundreds of system points, but after all, she only had more than 2,000 system points left. But now after killing 4 elders, his system points have skyrocketed to more than 27,000 points. This is equivalent to 27,000 years of cultivation. It can be used to improve his realm, which is enough for him to ascend to the sky control realm, and even an extra 17,000. When he thought of this, the smile on Chen Daoxuan's face deepened. Looking at the ancestor of the Ren family, he couldn't help but feel that the other person looked very kind. What kind of enemies are these? These are my favorite family members, the parents who provide food, clothing and food for me. What is Patriarch Ren's spirit partitioning realm 4th layer? 40,000. Hiss. Old man, I really don't know how to thank you Ren family. All I can do is to keep your family in order so that no one will be left alone. Chen Daoxuan was a little excited by the sudden impact of tens of thousands of system points. In full view of everyone, he actually put on a kind expression and patted Ancestor Ren on the shoulder. If someone didn't know the situation, seeing this scene, they would probably think that the two of them were old friends. What exactly do you want? As long as you let me go, I will hand over all the resources of the entire Ren family when I return. From now on, the entire Ren family will be at your disposal. I just ask you to let me go. Ancestor Ren was trembling all over at this time. He never thought that with his level of spirit partitioning realm 4th layer, he would one day stumble in the Northern Territory. He didn't even dare to guess how strong the young man in front of him, who seemed to be the 1st layer of the Qi realm, was really. Only when he faced Chen Daoshuan directly could he understand that Chen Daoshuan was simply not a being that human beings could contend with. The trembling Ancestor Ren, under the shocked gaze of everyone, actually began to beg for mercy. Crazy, this world must be crazy. The power of spirit partitioning realm actually has such a side. Hiss, doesn't that mean that Master Lang Yanren is much stronger than the spirit partitioning realm? We in the Northern Territory can straighten our backs from now on. Many forces in the Northern Territory were so shocked that they could not accept that this was true. Even in their understanding, the Nirvana realm is already a ceiling. As for the Infinite realm, only people from other regions will encounter it occasionally. As for the spirit partitioning realm, it can be said that almost all of the Northern Territory forces present saw the living spirit partitioning realm for the first time. Not to mention what the realm above the spirit partitioning realm is, more than 90% of them don't know and have never heard of it. Yunur, if I ask you a question, please answer it truthfully. Have you ever provoked that man's disciples? It doesn't matter if she bullied you, have you ever offended her? Xiaoyao Palace Master, after being stunned for a moment, looked at the miserable Wang Yan and asked in a low voice. No, how can this disciple have such ability? Wang Yan shook his head like a rattle, ignoring the pain in his body, and explained quickly. Call, that's good. When Master Xiaoyao heard this, he dispersed the spiritual power gathered in the palm of his back in a subtle way. The Ren family is like a chicken in the hands of that person. If it were his Xiaoyao palace, it wouldn't be much better. Poor Wang Yan experienced another narrow escape without knowing it. Is he a powerful person in the realm of refining the void? When the 3 elders of the Holy Mountain looked at Chen Daoshuan, their eyes were also full of shock. The ancestors of the Ren family in the spirit partitioning realm were unable to fight back with the 5 elements formation flag, so they must have crossed the bottleneck of the spirit partitioning realm. In the void refining realm, even in the Eastern Territory, except for some hidden old monsters, you can't see it on the surface at all. For a moment, the 3 elders of the Holy Mountain felt a little regretful. If they had known that the other party was a powerful person in the void refining realm, they should have tried to win over him. Please, I am willing to make an oath of heaven, and you will be the only one to obey me from now on. Whatever you want is fine. When Patriarch Ren saw Chen Daoshuan staring at him without responding, his eyes still faintly revealing excitement, he suddenly became even more panicked and begged for mercy again. What are you talking about, old man? Didn't I say it? I just want to talk to you from the bottom of my heart. Chen Daoshuan smiled, very happily, from the bottom of his heart. All the previous dissatisfaction disappeared after the system point arrived. Okay, you can say anything. I wonder what you want to talk about. Ancestor Ren was seriously injured at this time, and he tremblingly agreed to Chen Daoshuan's words. Well, this is what you have. But as soon as he said the words of agreement, he felt a pain in his chest, and then he widened his eyes and found Chen Daoshuan's hand in front of him. There is already an extra heart that is still beating faintly. Ancestor Ren was stunned. He looked at Chen Daoshuan with a kind smile on his face and a beating heart in his hand. Everyone present was stunned. Originally, everyone was still wondering why Chen Daoshuan didn't kill Patriarch Ren and wanted to talk to him heart to heart. Could it be that he wants to win over the other party? After all, the Ren family is considered a big family in the eastern region, and Ancestor Ren also possesses the powerful strength of the spirit partitioning realm 4th layer. If he can be conquered, it will be a great help. After all, any elder of the Ren family who is in the immeasurable realm is an unattainable existence in the eyes of the people in the Northern Territory. But what about now? What did they see? Chen Daoxuan smiled and said that Patriarch Ren had just agreed to have some heart-to-heart talk. Chen Daoxuan suddenly dug into Ancestor Ren's heart. Then, there was a heart that was still beating faintly in his hand. I'm going to dig out my heart and lungs with you. Is this my heart and soul? Are you really going to dig right into your heart? Hiss. It's really heartbreaking. The thinking of a strong man is really different, and it is not something that ordinary people like us can guess. After many forces were shocked, they all made up their minds that they would never offend this guy in the future. In the past, I only knew that Leng Yanren was a female devil who killed people without blinking an eye, but now I realize that co-writing Leng Yanren is already pretty good. Compared to her, her master is truly terrifying. No wonder such disciples are cultivated, no wonder. Old man, are you okay? You look a little pale. Are you feeling uncomfortable somewhere? Chen Daoxuan ignored everyone's shocked looks and instead asked Patriarch Ren with a concerned look. When everyone saw this, their mouths twitched wildly, and they wanted to yell. You have ripped out other people's hearts. Can people feel comfortable? But no one dared to make a sound here, and everyone even held their breath involuntarily because they were too scared, for fear of attracting Chen Daoxuan's attention. Heart, my heart. Ancestor Ren's eyes were full of bloodshot eyes, and he weakly wanted to reach out to grab his heart. His belief in survival kept him from falling. After all, he is a strong man in the spirit partitioning realm. Even if his heart was taken out of his body, he could not die for a while and still wanted to get it back. Ah, are you feeling sick about your heart? Easy to say, don't worry, old man, I will help you solve it. When Chen Daoxuan heard Ancestor Ren's words, he looked suddenly enlightened. Then, under the eyes of Ancestor Ren, with his eyes widened, the heart burst open with a bang. Well, his heart burst, and Ancestor Ren was no longer alive. His eyes were still wide and red when he died. The last thought in my mind was why on earth I wanted to provoke this devil. The host kills the spirit partitioning realm 4th layer, and is rewarded with 40,000 system points. Closing square bracket. After gaining a full 40,000 system points again, he surprisingly already had more than 67,000 system points. It's not an exaggeration to say that you became rich overnight. The system prompt sounded as scheduled. Chen Daoxuan could not suppress the joy in his heart and showed a satisfied smile. But in everyone's eyes, this scene was like seeing an ancient demon, the most evil ancient demon. Ancestor Ren of the spirit partitioning realm is simply a toy in his eyes. Look at this guy, he's smiling so contentedly, he's so perverted. Tisk, so disgusting. Chen Daoxuan was naturally not satisfied because he killed Ancestor Ren, but because of the system point. However, after the joy passed, he noticed the foreign object in his hand. He shook his hand with a look of disgust and used spiritual energy to completely remove the stain on his hand. Compared to Patriarch Ren's suggestion of subduing the entire Ren family, he still prefers the system contributed by the Ren family to be more practical. After all, system points can improve your level and can even be exchanged for various treasures in the system mall. Well, there's another guy. After Chen Daoxuan finished dealing with Patriarch Ren and the 4 elders, he did not forget the unconscious Ren or He landed lightly on the top of the mountain where Leng Yanren and the others were. At this time, when the 3 elders of the holy mountain faced Chen Daoxuan again, they were all nervous and quickly dispersed the barrier they had jointly set up. Standing there very reservedly, he bowed to Chen Daoxuan. Just now, we didn't know the true strength of our seniors. We were too blind to see the mountains. Don't blame us, seniors. One of the elders even spoke quickly. After all, in their eyes, Chen Daoxuan is simply a moody devil who kills without blinking an eye. It's so scary. Who knows if this guy will suddenly smile and attack them because he has a grudge against what happened just now. They don't want to have a heart-to-heart talk with Chen Daoxuan. Master. Leng Yanren immediately pounced on her master after he landed on the top of the mountain, and got into his arms. When she saw her master being bombarded by a fire dragon for the first time just now, she was extremely worried. I did something for my teacher just now. Didn't it scare you? Chen Daoxuan asked with a chuckle when he saw his disciple's appearance. The unclean execution of the ancestor of the Ren family just now was because the Ren family's words about sending his disciples to a brothel made him angry. In addition, everyone present should take a good look at it, take it to heart, and know what they need to face if they attack his disciples. As for the third point, which is also extremely important, it is to make everyone in the Holy Mountain afraid. No, Master is willing to get his hands dirty for the sake of his disciples. How could Yan Ran be afraid of this? Yanran, I like Master the most. No matter what Master is like, Yanran likes him. Leng Yanran lay in her master's arms and whispered softly. To be honest, it was indeed the first time for her to see the side that Master showed just now, but when she thought that Master was taking action for herself, she was only moved and not afraid at all. On the contrary, the Ren family, Hida and Hinang, dared to dirty Master's hands. How could they deserve it? In Leng Yanran's heart, Master has completely become a religious being, and whatever she does is right. That's good. I'll take care of this guy first. Otherwise, on the way to Wangquan later, I'm afraid that Ren will walk too slowly and won't be able to catch up with those people. It will be a sin for me as a teacher. After Chen Daoxuan said that, he temporarily let go of Leng Yanran in his arms. Under everyone's gaze, he casually walked up to Ren Eheh. Lift your legs. Settlement. Bang. Ren walked away peacefully, at least without any painful expression. Of course, if the other person still had the brains to make expressions. The host kills the 9th layer in the infinite realm and is rewarded with 9,000 system points. Closing square bracket. Thank you to nature. Oh no, thank you to Mr. Ren for your gift. As the last member of the Ren family was killed, Chen Daoxuan gained a total of more than 70,000 system points this time. It can be said that he was extremely rich for a while. If there were not some things that needed to be done, he would have wanted to return to Xuanyuan Mountain as soon as possible and upgrade his cultivation to the Sky Control Realm. Originally, the 10,000 system points needed to break through the Sky Control Realm made Chen Daoxuan feel like a huge sum of money, but now it looks like it. Haha, sprinkle some water. As long as the disciples gain some energy and attract more kind-hearted people in the future, will they worry that the system is not enough? By then, not to mention cultivation, even the Pengu Sky Axe will be redeemed from the system. Tisk, it's so dangerous. It's really not easy to fight against these strong men. After Chen Daoxuan digested the joy in his heart, he couldn't help but murmured. When everyone present heard this, their mouths twitched wildly, as if they were suffering from some disease. Not easy. They didn't see what was wrong with Chen Daoxuan. Before Patriarch Ren could even finish saying his name, he was snatched up and deposed immediately. He was also given the title of Ren. No one in the Northern Territory still knows his real name. Ancestor Ren used the 5 elements formation, and with the power of the formation, he was able to say, "It's so hot." From the beginning to the end, apart from attacking the clan leader, Chen Daoxuan only lightly waved the black-yellow ruler towards everyone in the Ren family. The ancestor of the Ren family managed to survive with the help of the 4 elders, and even had his heart ripped out. No matter this, it's so dangerous. No matter this, it's not easy. In everyone's mind, a group of alpacas rushed past, but no one dared to speak. After all, the shock Chen Daoxuan brought to them was too strong. It's 100 times more terrifying than when Leng Yanran destroyed the Menluo Tianzong. Master, are you tired? Leng Yanran asked with even more concern after hearing the master's words. That's not true. The main reason was that there was a little bit of personal emotion mixed into it. You still have to control the blood from splattering on your clothes. It's very troublesome. Chen Daoxuan said seriously. Hearing this, everyone present staggered again. What a troublesome thing it is to co-author. Sure enough, I still don't take the Ren family seriously. Chen Daoxuan didn't care about everyone's reaction, but paid attention to the time of this arrival. Now, 6.5 minutes have passed since the Ren family was dealt with. There are only 10 minutes left for this arrival. He immediately walked towards the people on the holy mountain with a kind smile on his face. But for some reason, the 3 elders of the holy mountain always felt a chill down their backs when they saw Chen Daoxuan's Heshan smile. Some people can't help but want to protect their hearts with their hands. Senior, what are your orders? The great elder bowed slightly and asked very respectfully. The attitude is very different from before. Originally, when facing Chen Daoxuan, both the people from the holy mountain and the owner of Xiaoyao Palace had a sense of pride belonging to the eastern region. I feel that even if Chen Daoxuan can be as strong as them in the spirit partitioning realm, he will never be their opponent. At least in terms of foundation, skills, and even magic weapons, they are simply incomparable to people like them from the eastern region. But after witnessing the tragic situation of the Ren family, they realized how wrong their thinking was. Chen Daoxuan was so powerful that they could only look up to him, but the most terrifying thing was his character. They had seen someone who killed decisively, but this was the first time they saw someone who treated killing as a joke. Even every time Chen Daoxuan killed his opponent, he would show a faint expression of satisfaction, which made them panic. However, Chen Daoxuan didn't pay attention to them. He just waved his hand casually, indicating to get up, and then looked at Li Shenruo and Li Yorong. Shenruo has received the inheritance of immortal level skills from Master Qiyunzi in the secret realm. I'm afraid I can't accept senior's kindness. Li Shenruo on the side was slightly stunned. When he saw Chen Daoxuan looking at him, he thought that the other party was because of his previous appointment as a disciple, so he quickly replied. I already know about this. It's a pity that there is no master-disciple relationship between you and me. When Chen Daoxuan heard this, he chuckled and said casually. He didn't take this matter too seriously. The most important thing in choosing his disciples was that they were pleasing to the eye. Before Lang Yanren was in trouble before entering the secret realm, Li Shenruo had made some attempts to help, which made him quite satisfied, so he proposed to accept a disciple. And since she had already inherited the immortal level skills in the secret realm and refused her proposal to become a disciple, Chen Daoxuan would naturally not force it. Hearing Chen Daoxuan's words, Li Shenruo felt for no reason that he had missed a huge opportunity. An opportunity that cannot be remedied in this life. But thinking that what he had obtained was an immortal level skill, Li Shenruo suppressed the strange feeling in his heart. May I have your name? Chen Daoxuan looked at the woman next to Li Shenruo who looked somewhat similar to him. In terms of appearance, both of them can be called fairies on earth, but Li Shenruo is a little cold. The other woman's eyes were clean and thorough, and her big eyes looked at Chen Daoxuan. She looked a little dull and cute. But the qualification is also a rare holy level, and he even has a special physique. The most noteworthy thing is, well, it's really big. My name is Li Yorong, what's your name? And those guys who wanted to bully that beautiful sister, were you killed just now? You are so powerful. You should be even more powerful than the elders. Li Yorong blinked, not afraid of Chen Daoxuan, but looked at him with a hint of admiration. After all, when Lang Yanren was bullied by the Ren family just now, she also wanted to help, but seeing that none of the elders agreed to Sister Li Shenruo's request for help, it was definitely useless even if she said so. Haha. No, they are very good. How come I am so willing to kill someone? As the old man of Ren's family gets older, he is more sleepy, so he fell asleep now. Look, lying there, I sleep so soundly and fragrantly. Seeing Li Yorong's innocent appearance, Chen Daoxuan couldn't help but touch his nose with a guilty conscience, feeling guilty for deceiving a little girl. However, this little girl's name is really suitable and she has a lot of energy. Oh, that's how it is. Li Yorong was a little surprised at first, but then he actually nodded and believed Chen Daoxuan's lies. Everyone present felt their temples beating wildly when they saw this scene. My heart has been torn out, and now there is a big hole in my chest. How on earth did you two manage to turn a blind eye? One tells lies with open eyes, while the other dares to believe it after hearing it. Still sleeping soundly. By the way, you haven't told me your name yet. Li Yorong suddenly realized something, blinked twice and asked. If you want, you can be like that beautiful sister you mentioned. Call me master. If you want, you can call me master. Chen Daoxuan chuckled and said, quietly waiting for Li Yorong's answer. For a moment, everyone except Li Yorong was stunned. Especially Lang Yanren. She thought that after getting rid of Li Shenruo, the master would be hers alone. But suddenly Li Yorong jumped out and competed with her for the master's favor. But, looking at Li Yorong, although he has a good appearance, he doesn't seem very smart. Compared to having an extra Li Shenruo next to master, if she had to choose, she would rather keep the silly and cute Li Yorong. And when Lang Yanren looked at Li Yorong's clear eyes mixed with stupidity, she felt inexplicably fond of her. If Li Yorong becomes a junior sister, she can have more experience and stay with her master. Tisk. Perfect. Besides, if she wanted to revitalize her sect, it would be difficult for her to do it on her own. For the sake of her master and her sect, she would not stop her from accepting disciples. Senior Chen, I'm afraid this isn't appropriate. Although the 2 saints of our holy mountain have no teachers in the holy mountain, they will all go to the central region in the future. The great elder of the holy mountain hesitated for a moment before speaking. No need to say more, just let her decide on her own. I am the kindest person. I never force others. What do you think? Chen Daoxuan didn't wait for the elder of the holy mountain to finish what he said. He raised his hand slightly to indicate that he didn't need to say anything, and then said to him with a smile. The elder of the holy mountain wanted to refuse, but seeing Chen Daoxuan's familiar smile, he always felt a pain in his heart, and in the end he did not dare to say anything more. After all, this guy showed such a smile when he dug into Ancestor Ren's heart just now. All he could do was keep winking and winking at Li Yorong. Great elder, what's wrong with your eyes? Did the fire dragon just now be too dazzling and hurt your eyes? The fire dragon just now was so powerful that Yorong could feel the heat even through the barrier. Correct. Master is so powerful that he can easily catch the fire dragon. Why don't you let Master help you cure it? Master, can you help the elder to treat his eyes? Li Yorong's innocent big eyes were full of simplicity, and he directly took the title Master as Chen Daoxuan's name. After speaking to the great elder, he looked at Chen Daoxuan with a pitiful and pleading expression, asking him to help heal the great elder's eyes. The muscles in the elder's entire face were trembling, and his eyelids were twitching wildly. Sure enough, you shouldn't go down the mountain with wrong. Although Li Yorong and Li Shenruo are sisters, Li Shenruo is naturally extremely intelligent and wholeheartedly pursues immortal Dao. However, although Li Yorong has better qualifications than Li Shenruo, he is too naive. The elders of their holy mountain had been very worried about Li Yorong's cultivation, and they had worked hard to supervise him. Only then did Li Yorong now have the strength of the universal truth realm. But this brain has not developed at all with the increase in cultivation. It's over now. The great elder and the other 2 elders of the holy mountain are all in bad condition. Ha ha ha. Okay, since you call me master, I will naturally help you. Chen Daoxuan also didn't expect that this apprentice would be so easy to fool. Although he had not yet accepted the apprenticeship ceremony, after he proposed to accept the apprenticeship, Li Yorong accepted the apprenticeship and the system had already given him a reward. Ding! Congratulations to the host for acquiring the second disciple Li Yorong. The reward skills are Chaos Holy Dragon Art, Hongmeng Level, Ancient Dragon's Blood, 1 bottle and 10,000 system points. Closing square bracket. The reward reminder sounded in his mind, making Chen Daoxuan smile even more satisfied. It is another Hongmeng level skill, but the second reward is not a marrow cleansing pill, but a bottle of ancient dragon's blood that is more suitable for Li Yorong. Even the system points have increased 10 times compared to the first time he accepted a disciple, reaching a full 10,000 points. Really, thank you, Master. When Li Yorong heard that Chen Daoxuan was willing to help, he immediately smiled and waited for him to treat the elder's eyes. Chen Daoxuan naturally knew that this elder had any eye problems. He was clearly worried just now. He casually stretched out his hand towards the great elder of the holy mountain, gently brushed it in front of the great elder's eyes, and at the same time used his spiritual power to bring out some dots of light. But this action caused a layer of cold sweat to break out on the great elder's forehead. Even the other 2 elders were on guard, worried that this moody guy wouldn't kill them all after deceiving Li Yorong. After all, they have seen Chen Daoxuan's treatment techniques before. Previously, Ancestor Ren just said that his heart was not feeling well, and his heart was crushed. Although the problem of heart discomfort was indeed cured, but fortunately, Chen Daoxuan had no such plan. Nailed it. Great elder, are your eyes healed? If it doesn't heal, I can help you treat it again. Chen Daoxuan couldn't help laughing when he saw the 3 elders being so nervous, but he also had some doubts in his heart. Are you scary? Could it be that he looks like a villain? Why are these people so afraid of him? He is so approachable and amiable. Okay. Thank you, Senior. The great elder quickly bowed his hands, as if he had really been cured of some disease. Li Yorong on the side smiled even brighter when he saw this. The great elder's illness was cured. Now that it's cured, let's just let it go if nothing happens. And you people, you should go back wherever you go. Chen Daoshuan glanced at the progress bar that showed there was only more than a minute left for his arrival, and then scanned the many forces present. No one dared to look at him. No matter where Chen Daoshuan looked, that force quickly bowed, and then hurriedly left with a senior farewell. But when Chen Daoshuan's eyes fell on everyone in Xiaoyao Palace, the master of Xiaoyao Palace also quickly bowed, but did not say goodbye and left. Senior Chen, I am from Xiaoyao Palace in the eastern region. I wonder if Senior is interested in developing in the eastern region. This northern territory is still too small after all. How can it accommodate such a powerful person as Senior? If the Senior comes to the eastern region, I, Xiaoyao Palace, will definitely treat the Senior as the most distinguished guest. After Xiaoyao Palace Master saw Chen Daoshuan's terrifying strength, he had already started to think of wooing him. If he could hold on to this thigh, Dongyu would be able to go sideways. Well, Xiaoyao Palace, right. I will go there if I have the chance. Chen Daoshuan touched his nose. It seemed that those who allowed him to go to the sect were usually not as guests, but to harvest system points. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.